You comfortable?
Yeah, really.
Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday. We're well into September, and we have Alan Ford here. He looks like he's about to go and beat someone up because they owe him money.
Just because I'm wearing a black tracksuit. Good morning to you.
He got out of his car this morning. I got out of my car at the same time in the parking lot. Alan Ford gets out of his car. Oh, fuck.
You thought I was a debt collector.
Yeah, but you looked grumpy as hell. You got this haircut now. I like the haircut. Very good.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. But you looked like a leb who was going to go and get some money from somebody.
Good morning to you, and especially to you. How you doing? So I must tell you, I see this new chair setup, you know. So I'm trying
you don't like it.
I'm trying to find a way to put the rolls and tuck everything in, you know. It's
You're worried about the fat.
The fat, yeah.
Still.
But my whole life, you know.
But then, haven't you got used to it now?
No, because I'll lose it and it comes back and
it loves you. It loves you. It wants you back.
It's terrible. And then I saw that I could lose weight.
Oh yeah, we've got a magic formula for Alan to lose weight. Look at this. Watch.
Look at this. All
he has to do, like Harry Potter, he's got a cloak of invisibility. He can hide the fat.
Now I've cut half my fat off.
That's magic, El. You should just do everything on green screen.
I should just do it like this. It should be a floating head. So
if anyone's listening instead of just watching, which you should be doing on YouTube by now,
it's a
floating head now.
Yeah, it's a
green suit. Screen. So that's actually a bodysuit.
I can't fit into the bodysuit.
You could. It's stretchy. I don't know. Anyway. Our producers are going to use that to look like a tokolosh that brings a drink on out of nowhere.
Yeah, I've just thrown it away so we can get back to real business.
All right. So what's real business? What do you want to talk about so urgently?
How's it going?
Lekker, very good. I love this time of year. I'm as happy as can be. Things are going well. Everybody's by and large healthy. I'm very, very sad about Fresh's wife Tubby. So that put me on a bit of a downer last weekend, but otherwise, 50, you know what?
50 years old, yeah, very sad. That's sad. And
I said to somebody the other day that you wake up, and you have a choice to wake up and have a lovely day, or to have a shit day, and I just choose to have a lovely day
because we're on that border, you know.
What do you mean?
Of almost being 50.
Go straight to hell. Why do you have to bring that up?
Because you just turned 47 last
Monday, yeah.
Yeah, and what happens is
I noticed, by the way, there's a bit of passive aggressive shit coming from you. Alan wishes me happy birthday, but he makes sure to put in 47th birthday. Why? Why? You like that?
Because it's weird. It's weird. You and I started on air at the age of 20, Gareth.
Yeah.
That's 27 years of doing crazy, wonderful, insane, some of the most insane things if you look back over time. And we were talking about some of those things. And do you remember being locked and staying in a prison in Cmax?
Yeah, but we weren't locked up because we were prisoners.
No, because
explain that to people. You can't start a conversation by going, "Do you remember being locked up in Cmax prison?"
So let me tell you.
That's not where you start a conversation with people.
Let me tell you what happened. We did the breakfast show for a South African talk radio station.
You can say it. We don't care about that. 702 back in the day.
And what happened was, Gareth and I, with Yusuf Abramji, decided to do the morning show from the Cmax.
Yeah. We even got prisoners' uniforms.
They gave us, and we could take them home, eh? And that's
I smuggled mine home. So I've got at home.
I also do
an orange uniform with prisoner written in circles all the way around.
And you know, if you found that,
they'll put you away.
They'll put you away because it's like you escapee.
No, it's in my one cupboard where like when you have to dress up for a party or something.
And so what ended up happening was Gareth and I went in there the day before. We got to do a tour of the prison.
Terrible place.
We met all the hijackers and the not in transvestites.
Did you meet some transvestites?
No. The the cash
and transits. Yeah.
Anyway, at that time we met the famous serial killer Moses Sithole.
That's right. And Colin
whose eyes looked like this.
Colin Chowke was in there as well. He was also a famous killer.
He was that's the cash and transit guy.
And then there was also Eugene de Kock was in then.
Yeah. So we met, and then we had.
It was a good time to be.
And
in
then
the prison.
we had to stay there.
There are a lot of celebrity.
No, it wasn't like Robben Island. It wasn't Robben Island, but and we had to stay the night. And what ended up actually happening was that we did the morning show for them. It was quite freaky.
Well,
I mean,
I'll tell you
that's one of
what,
those
I've
crazy
never
memories.
forgotten. Yeah, one of the things I've never forgotten about that particular project that we did was that the awaiting trial prison was worse than the normal prison.
Do you remember that?
Because there are people there, and there was like this foreign guy who grabbed my arm while we were walking through it and said, please help me. I've been in here for 4 years. And all he did was there was some transgression in his papers when he...
And he had a brown suit. Do you remember that?
Yeah, he illegally came into the country. He'd been wearing that brown suit for 4 years. He was in a waiting trial prison for 4 years.
I will never forget that. And do you remember how they were
bad.
all sleeping on beds?
So they take turns because the awaiting trial prison. So if you've ever gone down the street into Pretoria, we've got Kgosi Mampuru prison on your left. The block that faces the road is the awaiting trial block. Inside of that, there are 4 people to a bed. So what they do is they split it into shifts of like 6-7 hours each in the bed. And then they sleep at alternate times.
And the other squash against the wall.
Yeah. It's horrible.
It was horrible. It was actually one of the... Moses Satolu, who killed 40-something people.
That wasn't
and
so bad.
Donald Choke and all those guys.
Frightening, but not... Yeah.
They stayed in quite comfortable quarters. In the Cmax,
single cells.
Yeah.
And a little, like a playground with wire all around it. Like a cage. It's literally a cage.
And the white-collar crime man that was sitting over there. He was a Dutch guy, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the point is that we've been in the business for, I said 47th birthday, because it always reminds me I'm 6 months younger.
No, you're just like
and I felt like giving it a dig and say
but I do remember, just while we're on that subject, because I think it's something most people, I hope, if you're a good law-abiding citizen, you never have to see the inside of an actual prison, because there's a difference between, like a jail cell at the police station and a prison. And a prison is a very horrible place. Do you remember that food?
It was like 2 slices of brown bread with a bit of peanut butter.
And there was porridge, but I remember the smell of it. And I thought,
that's the smell of Maltabella.
I would have to be so hungry to eat that. I
actually enjoyed it, strangely enough. I ate it. Well, it's me. Where's that green thing?
I was going to say, you're opening the door for a joke.
And I was smaller than this, eh? I mean, I was much bigger than this. I'm smaller now. But it's good to be here this morning, and it's...
You good?
Yes.
What's happening with you? Don't worry about me. I'm here every second day.
I'm off to Greece tomorrow.
Well, some people have a really good life. Here he is. How are you? I'm good. I'm having a happy day. What are you? I'm going to Greece tomorrow.
I want to go see the Acropolis again.
Okay.
I'm going to Mykonos. I'm going to Budapest.
So Mykonos for the gays is a big thing, Hale.
For the gays and for the beach.
And you're a gay.
And I'm a gay.
So what happens in Mykonos? Did all the gays just get naked?
No, I'm not going for the naked.
What happens?
I'm going to actually just have fun.
Listen, I still want to know what happens.
Mykonos is not just for the gays.
No, but
it's a great. No, I'm not.
Is your grand watching? Can you tell me what happens?
I'm not going for any of that.
Tell me what happens though. Because you've been there for that.
I've never.
No.
I went.
So why do the gays go then?
Because it's a very popular gay destination, but it's like Cape Town is.
What? So they can have cocktails?
Yeah, but our good friend Nicky van der Welsen there in Liebenberg,
cocktails.
They're always there. A lot of straight. It's a very.
No, but that's not what people want to know. The rest of us who are not there for that, we want to know.
I will come back to the show the show afterwards and tell you if
tell us the truth.
Seeing anything funny. But I haven't been in 26 years.
Okay, so
Greece. So
all right, well that's a long time to know.
24 years actually.
So you're meeting up with them there.
So we're going to meet some mates there, and after that I'm going to Budapest.
Oh, nice.
And then I'm going to Venice because I've never been in a gondolier, so I want to see what that's like.
Gondola.
The
guy who paddles it is called the gondolier.
Ah, okay. Well, I've never been in a gondolier or on a gondola. How was that?
That's very nice.
Yeah.
I hear Greece though is very expensive.
Yeah, life's expensive. I think it's but so I've never told anyone this. When you go to rehab, because it's 3.5 years that
hey, listen, congratulations.
Thanks.
Ring the bell. Alan's been sober for 3 years. And you used to drink.
Yeah.
I remember. We used to drink together. I still drink.
We've done rehab discussions and
I know, but I think people are interested, El, before you jump straight into it, because 3.5 years sober is not easy. And it takes a huge amount of willpower. And I think, going to rehab is a tough thing. Most people wouldn't want to talk about that, but you're very open about it. And I think it's been an amazing life change for you. I mean, you've done incredible stuff since you've decided to stop drinking.
Look how rude this person is.
What? Can you please ask Alan Ford not to breathe into the mic like an obese asthmatic? Oh, that's Carl. Don't worry. He's also obese.
Hi, Carl.
So
Thanks
tell
for
us.
that.
Don't worry about
Alan is everyone's favorite gay.
Okay, so there we go.
Brent Lindick, he's only fourth. Who's 2 and 3? RuPaul,
Elton John.
and Elton John. Okay.
So tell me
Carl,
about
you
this.
just redeemed
Hey,
yourself.
listen,
like
pay attention.
Mm.
It's very easy to distract you. This thing about going sober, all the things that have improved in your life because of this. I think it's worth sharing this stuff.
Let's go through this. So it was rough. Remember, I came onto the show a month after I'd been in rehab.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I didn't realize that an alcoholic is not somebody that necessarily drinks. Because I never drank every day. I never drank in the day.
Yeah.
I was just a binge drinker. Went to rehab for 30 days to House and House. And then I did all the outreach programs, the proper stuff. So 90 meetings in 90 days.
Wow.
I took it very seriously because I thought, well, if we're going to do this, we'll do it properly. So we're sitting on 3.5 years today. And it's been life-changing. I doubled my business. I then quadrupled it the year after that.
And you don't think you could have done that if you were still drinking?
No ways. No ways. Because I wasn't functioning at my optimal, my best, you know? And so it's been a phenomenal road. But there's a very strong message here that I want to tell people is that we don't realize that we live in quite an alcoholic society.
Oh, South Africa especially, right?
Yeah.
I mean, South Africans don't know how to have fun unless they're drinking.
Ireland's also terrible, I believe. And because I know some people were there recently, and they told me don't come because it's just drink.
Oh, really?
You know, yeah. And it's so fascinating because we don't think we've got a problem when we, you know, if you're going home and you say, I need a glass of wine to chill, or a couple of glasses of wine to chill every day, there's a problem.
Yeah.
You know, if you think that you're going to drink Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays, you're going to go balls to the walls, there's an issue there. I'm telling you, there's an issue. If you haven't realized it, there's a problem.
But
and here's the key. It's what when your life becomes unmanageable, when you are drinking and when you're doing things, that's when it becomes a problem. People are driving drunk. People are hitting their wives or hitting their husbands, or driving with their kids drunk in the car, or waking up the next day in a bad mood because they're still
hungover.
Hungover.
I mean, hangovers.
And fighting.
The one reason I would stop is just the hangovers. It's just such a waste of time the next day.
Yeah. So I'm trying to just say that we live in a society. I'm sorry to depress everyone who drinks this morning, but
that's all right. They'll just have a drink.
Have a drink. But you've got to start to watch this, and you've got to see what. And I'm telling you, I wasn't functioning at my optimal capacity.
So let me ask you this: if drinking is what you say it is for many people, it's a coping mechanism. People's lives are hard, right?
Yeah, times are tough.
Sure, they get up, they go to work. Sometimes work is horrible, but you've got to do it because you need the income.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets to choose. You've got kids, you've got husbands and wives, you've got responsibilities, health problems. People got all kinds of things. Maybe they look forward to that drink a little bit too much. But what coping mechanisms are acceptable? Because you know, many people, they'll stop drinking and then they'll take on something else. So they'll become a workaholic. They'll become an eataholic, an exerciseaholic, or whatever.
So you've got to actually start to feel.
What do you mean?
You've got to start to feel what you are feeling in the present moment. So we're quick to bottle up those feelings, and then we go to the bottle.
Yeah.
So instead of dealing with what's actually you're facing, and whatever those demons are, you are drinking them away, and you're hiding it under the carpet, and it's becoming much worse. And that's the problem.
So you reckon that if you really want a long-term solution to these things, you have to face the problem
head on. And you've got it. And if you're in an unhappy marriage, you have to deal with that. You can't drink it away.
Get divorced. Get divorced.
I advocate it.
Yeah.
You know, so there's
no, nothing worse than being in an unhappy marriage.
And so you're going to read a book called Slaying the Dragon.
Yes. Yeah, we're interviewing that guy.
And you'll see how his life was so. And he got into meds because he had an op.
There's a guy called Antonio Iozzo.
Yeah. A brilliant launch.
Yeah.
And he was being interviewed by the author of Smacked, who published and ghostwrote.
Melinda, we've had her on. Yeah.
And so these are
Melinda
all
Ferguson.
recovering addicts. And firstly, he would never be able to, and he was a functioning billionaire.
You mean a functioning functioning drug addict and billionaire?
And billionaire.
Yeah.
So, and
I mean, everyone would want to be a functioning billionaire. I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah,
I'm a functioning billionaire. Well, if you're not functioning, but you're a billionaire anyway.
But there's the truth of the matter is that my life has changed. It's really been great. Met someone great. They drink. They do what they want to do.
It's not a them, they. It's a he.
Yeah.
You got to say when you say they. People are like
he does what he wants to do, and here's the secret to what I've been able to change my business.
Oh,
I don't fight with people. There's no drama.
You used to have a lot of drama.
She was drama, and and
do you think you liked the drama?
No, because you are in a you're not in you're in a deregulated space when you're drunk. You're not regulated. Think about it, Gareth. You're not regulated. So you get home and you want to lose it with people, and you bar fights. I don't see straight people punching each other.
Did you get into fights?
Yeah, when we were younger. Hey, yes, we did.
Did you have fights?
I got into fights. Do you know, I once punched somebody through the windows of the bar in Lower called named Dr. Jeremy Mansfield. It was actually his bar.
Mansfield.
Punched someone and they went flying through the window.
I can't imagine.
Those were the late 90s. We were a bit mad.
Yes.
It was fun. I'm Lebanese. Come on. I might be gay, but I can still
no, sure.
give you a left hook.
No, you're a proper Leb.
But that's so. So I want to talk to you about traveling and about.
Yes.
So in rehab, we did a financial exercise to work out how much money that I was spending on booze. And Gareth, if you go out once a week to a club, you spend 1,200 rand easy. Right.
Yeah.
And then you go
the money wastage is insane.
And then you go and you work out your overseas trips.
Oh,
and you work
no,
so
it's ridiculous.
I was spending between 10 and 12,000 rand a month on booze. So I put it into a fund now. And so if you can afford it, and that money I saved to go on these lovely Grecian holidays.
Because you're always on holiday. I'm a little bit jealous. Like deep down, I don't actually get jealous of anybody, but I somehow, when I see Alan posting these things, you were at the Taylor Swift concert the other day. I wasn't jealous of Taylor Swift concert, but you were in London for that. I
had a bit of work.
You went to the rugby in Paris for the final.
Mm-hmm.
You get to these interesting things, but this is coming from money that you're saving from not drinking.
Yeah,
amazing.
Oh, so that's what you're doing. So, and then of course, I mean, that's added to a trip that I would do anyway.
Sure.
But I've got something exciting. Can I talk about something exciting coming?
Go on.
Please, Mayor. Can I give it a plug?
Go.
Okay. So, a guy called James McIntosh contacted me. I'm obsessed with rugby, and we're off to Scotland.
Okay.
And I want to take a bunch of people with. Okay. So, I'd like to know if you would like to come to Scotland to watch Springboks versus Scotland in Murrayfield.
When?
Okay. It's the 8th of
November.
8th of November, coming up. It's 23K.
But do you want to just take a whole bunch of strangers with you?
I want to go with a bunch of fun strangers going crazy.
Oh my God.
And then, of course,
that's like my worst nightmare.
I know lots of the books. So we'll probably meet up with them. And there's a whiskey tour, which I won't be on. You'll go on the whiskey tour because I can't go on that.
No.
But we're going to go get rugby tickets and have a jaw. They include your accommodation.
That sounds fun.
Includes your accommodation.
But are you sure you want to go with strangers?
Yeah, I want to go with strangers. So please go to my Instagram, Alan Chubby Ford. If you'd like to, please join me in Scotland. Think about it. Hey, the Scottish. Like it could be fun. Do you want to come?
No.
Okay. Well, Gareth won't be there, but we'll probably meet Ebb at Itzebeth and meet some of the guys, and it's going to be a great trip. So can I give that plug?
Yeah, of course. There.
Thanks, please, guys.
So we'll even leave all the details in the description.
Thanks.
Of the show, so that you can go and join Alan. All right, I'm just looking at the comments here, El. There a couple of people on here.
What are we saying?
Someone, Bitcoin But says, how can you sit with your shoes on the couch like that?
I know, it's very rude.
He did ask me permission, and I said, yeah, it's fine.
I'm in a much more comfortable position, honestly. And it is rude. It is rude. So it's you shouldn't do it. But I'm quite meticulous, and there's a company in Sandton City that scrubs your shoes. So I take it to
the sneaker shack or whatever it's called.
And so you can see my shoes have been scrubbed clean.
Yeah, I like
so
nice
they're
clean.
scrubbed clean. So just so you know, these are clean.
Look at this,
shoes.
Carl, who was complaining and being rude earlier. He says, "I stopped drinking, but since then I've been arrested twice for masturbating at the pub."
Wow.
Oh, you got to change one thing for another, right?
Yeah. Carl's Portuguese.
Yeah, he's Portuguese.
Portuguese. Okay. How's it going in the south, Carl?
Meg says that you look like a hooligan football coach, Al.
I like that. Do you know I was a football coach once?
What?
Let me tell you a story. Great story.
How many lives have you lived?
So what happened was they didn't have a coach for the Lebanese soccer team at Wits University.
There was a Lebanese soccer team.
Yeah, we were second division.
Yeah.
Soccer team. Yeah. It was a third division. And I was on the committee and they didn't have a coach. So there was a book. At that stage, the CNA used to have idiot's guides too.
I remember those, yeah.
So I bought an idiot's guide to soccer.
Yeah.
Because I never played soccer. I played rugby. and I was the coach of the soccer team. And we won that league.
So, I mean, you could be...
And I was too fat to run up and down the field.
But you could shout.
I got a golf cart. And I was zooming up and down the field. And on my life, I don't mean to be funny. I had to tell a story. Jetline did the... And I want to tell you that Gareth, seriously, Jetline put this gave us our uniforms. It was owned by LB Masters, an honorary leb.
Yeah.
And what happened?
Honorary leb.
And what happened?
What's your Lebanese?
Listen to this.
Wait, hang on. You just made me think of something. What's the Lebanese golf club that your dad was a member of?
The Phoenicians.
The Phoenicians. Yeah.
So
very good, very respectable golf.
So we had this beautiful apparel made, and mine arrived, and mine was the biggest size, but it didn't fit because I weighed 180 kilos of those stuff. Seriously, I did, and I had to cut the pants to fit in the middle of the shirts. So I had the pants and the shirt in one outfit. And as a shirt, and then I had mine. So yeah, I was a soccer coach. It was fun, and we won the league. And yeah.
Well, Carl says he's actually half Leb, half Pora, so he's from the south as well. The south,
and he's masturbating in pubs.
Yeah, that fits, doesn't it?
No, I don't know about that.
From the south.
The south is cool. Nothing wrong with
you're
the south.
original Lebs from Mayfair as well.
Mayfair, which is in the center.
Yeah.
And Ford is not Lebanese.
No.
My father was half Lebanese. My mother's half Lebanese.
Right. So you actually only half.
I'm only half, yeah.
Oh. What's the other half?
British.
Oh.
And German Welsh.
That's where the football coach comes from.
Yeah, maybe.
The hooligan football coach.
But they were great. They were great Lebanese. Great Lebanese football players. Des Bacchus. And we had, in South Africa, had some phenomenal Lebanese.
Listen, the Leb community in this country is huge. And they stick together. They're very, very cool people. I've got lots of friends in the Lebanese community. They are, but people don't think they always go, well, there's the Poras and there's the Greeks and there's the Jews, but the Lebs are further down the list when people think of.
And we're a great culture. We've got wonderful music and beautiful church on the side of the road there in Woodmead.
Yeah, we drove past it this morning on my way.
It's really great. So it's Viva Lebanese, Viva.
There we go. Now you've done that. Now you can get on with the day.
So
listen, Alan called me on, when was it? Monday. No, last week. When you remember when there's that snow on Table Mountain, supposedly.
Can I set this up? Can I say something to you? Do you know I just got back from Cape Town yesterday?
Yeah.
It was 28 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay. On Monday was 28 degrees. Sunday was almost close to 30 degrees.
Okay.
And I'd phoned you on last week, Wednesday, 2 days after your birthday. Okay. Yeah. When we had seen this video.
Yeah, so Alan was furious. And I mean, he gets cross about ridiculous things like this.
Yeah.
So I answer my call and I say, hey, Al. He goes, listen, this video with the snow on Table Mountain, it's bullshit. He goes, it's bullshit, right? Can't be. He says, it can't be. I've called my business partner in Cape Town. He's looking out of his window. He doesn't see any snow.
True. He's looking outside his window and he sees a little cloud. And it's not a bad day. All right. And we see a guy on Table Mountain put a video.
Everyone is sharing that video.
Yeah, about, can you believe I'm walking up Table Mountain? And it was shared, because when I saw it, around about 9:30 in the morning.
No, lots of
Okay.
people were sharing it. It
And
was
so something never made sense. Firstly, I hate the false news. I hate
Yeah.
it. Everybody thinks they're a journalist.
Yeah.
Everybody's got an opinion, and the people that are the journalists and the no one, you don't know what you believe anymore. So now I go, damn, I'm so excited. This Snow on Table Mountain, and I'm about to post this Snow on Table Mountain thing. It's kind of cool. Just Snow on Table Mountain.
Yeah, but especially in August, September. Yeah.
And then my friend can't see it. They're having not a bad day, and she's looking up at the mountain. And then I'm thinking to myself, hold a second. What's the weather like? Lows of 7, highs of 12.
Yeah,
Can't snow at 7 and 12.
It's not cold enough for snow to form.
Table
right?
Mountain is not the Himalayas.
No.
Not that high. And then I thought of this dude that took the video. Now, this is the person that intrigues me the most. Because let's say it did happen. Let's just assume this.
All right.
The cable cars aren't working. Okay. So that means this idiot had to walk in the snow. Okay. Up Plateau Cliff
Yeah.
Gorge.
Yeah.
Okay. At 6 in the morning to get to Table Mountain to take pictures of the snow. And this fool didn't get killed. Now, he deserves to fall off the mountain. And I don't want people to die. I don't wish that. I don't wish death on anyone. But I'm going, what asshole climbs the mountain to take videos of the snow and then sends it to everyone and goes viral? It's so if it is true,
Yeah.
to the person that took the video,
Yes.
you're an idiot. Let's get it out there. You really are. It's dangerous. Okay, that's stupid. Because you see, Gareth, this is what people don't realize. You affect other people's lives when you do something like that. Because let's say you fall and you hurt yourself or you get killed. We've got to go visit you in hospital.
NSRI have to go up there and
we have
rescue
to go
you, first of
rescue
all.
you. Then we've got to
It's
take a
expensive,
shot.
by the way.
It's expensive.
We had a guy on
It's an
on the
expensive
show
thing, man.
probably about a year ago, and this guy works for the NSRI. They spend half the year in Cape Town rescuing
People.
from, these are just normal hikers who get lost in the mist. They lose their way. They get held up by bergies who, have knives. This is a terrible thing. Why are you doing this to other people? You're involving other
and you
people.
get us involved with it.
Yeah.
It's like people that drive drunk. I always ask them for the keys. Well, I'm happy to pay for the Uber. Because firstly, I'm a funeral person. So I end up going to the funeral.
Jeez,
Okay.
if you follow Alan on social media, every other week it's rest in
Rest
peace.
in peace, rest in peace.
I mean, I've never seen so many obituaries.
know,
It's
I
like
mean,
it's like that page in
goodness.
the newspaper in the old days.
Yeah, the classifieds, the deaths columns. So I go to funeral.
Would you always put the MAHD?
So I tell my mates.
What is it? MHDSRIP or what?
May his dear soul rest in peace.
Oh, is that what it stands for?
Yes. Or may their dear soul, or may her dear soul rest in
Oh,
peace.
okay.
But I want to get this concept through to you. So please give me your car keys and I'll pay for your Uber. And I'll get you there the next morning because I don't want to see you in hospital. I don't want to.
So it comes from love.
No, it comes from absolute. No, that's not true. It comes from selfishness. I don't have the time to sit in hospital and go to funerals and sit there consoling your mother after you do stupid things.
Well,
that's really
so
dumb.
Mo Rabbit says the weather on Table Mountain changes very quickly. It can be 35 at sea level and freezing on top. Been in that more than once. It's about a 1 kilometer elevation. So I don't know whether it's possible that there could have been snow, but the fact is nobody questions this. They just share it.
Okay. So Mo, let's assume that this is the case. This guy shouldn't have been climbing that mountain. He could have got hurt, and he must have got up very early in that morning in darkness to get up there because it's a 2.5 hour walk. And if he ran up there in the slippery and it was slippery, he would have got himself injured. So this is not a smart dude, Mode.
You get so bent out of shape about this, though. It's hilarious because Alan was genuinely upset. Most of us get upset if you bump your car, or that's justifiable. This guy gets upset about someone posting something. Yeah, Jared says, Alan even DM'd me as well, cucking me all over me for reposting that video. Did you shit on a whole lot of people?
A whole bunch of people. I said,
really? You went on a mission?
Just plain Jared. Did I not say to you, bro? Did I not say to you, you need to check our facts? You can't just post things. Can't just post things that are not the truth. Because I almost did it. You need to check these things.
I love that you're shitting on people in their DMs while the rest of us are trying to go about our day.
I
Alan's sitting
literally
there.
did. I did. And Jared, I told you the truth, bro. Come on, dude.
That's hilarious.
Take it off.
Oh my God.
Have it verified. It was not on News 24. It wasn't verified by
News
journalists.
24.
I'm just saying, it wasn't verified. Come on.
Well, all right.
You can't just post stuff that you don't believe. You know, guys, we've got to be careful. False news is really in the day.
Well, I think it's a good idea for everybody to check something out and to actually make sure you do your due diligence before you post something, right? Because you could be spreading all kinds of shit.
That's true.
I mean, like the news media do. They spread a whole lot of shit.
So I was really aggravated about that.
Okay, I can tell.
That's
You're still aggravated a week later.
So fuming. Is it the lack of booze or is it just grumpy?
I don't know.
It's the age.
That's the age. It's definitely.
Are we going to be sitting here in another 20 years?
The man's going to Greece tomorrow, and he's moaning about Table Mountain and snow. I love it.
Yeah. So,
where do you still want to go? You've been all over the place.
So I'm going to go back to Rio in February for my birthday for Carnival. I'm joining a school.
What?
To dance in the Carnival.
Oh, you're going to dance in the Carnival?
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
You're going to get dressed up.
So gay, but it's so great.
You're going to get the dressed up
feathers,
the whole thing.
Ready. I want to look. and all these people have the hottest bodies, you know? And I'm going to be standing there.
You're going to be on a float.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be great.
All those samba girls and they're shaking their booties.
Wow. I can see you wearing like a sun. Remember, who were those dancers at Sun City back in like
they were the
time,
extravaganza dancers.
That's it. You're going to look like an extravaganza dancer.
It's going to be great. Well, I'm not going to look like that, but I mean, because they give you these. Yeah, I've been a part of it before. About 25 years ago. No, not the extravaganza. Gareth, I know I've got boobs, but come on, give me a.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an exclusive. Alan Ford used to be in the Sun City extravaganza.
No, but I've done this, so I'm going. So I'd like to go to Russia when it's not at war because it's kind of just inappropriate.
Yeah.
I want to do Alaska.
What do you want to do in Russia?
I just want to
You want to hunt a bear or something?
No, man. I think it's
going to drive a tank.
I can't drink vodka, but the whole place would.
Drive a tank.
That would be in China, but something.
No, they'll let you drive a tank in Russia.
Do that?
Yeah,
I'd like to do that. Joe. That'd be cool.
Have you not heard about these bachelor party
where they rent a tank? It's kind of cool.
If you go to Russia for your bachelor party and you like, I don't know, an oligarch or a billionaire or whatever, there's nothing you can't get. Like they'll organize, you know, the strippers, the booze, the drugs, the tank you can drive.
Wow.
You can hunt animals. You can hunt people. Probably. I don't know what you can't do. Russia. It's Russia. So you know, if you say to them, "Can I get this?" Well, you can get this. It's no problem.
But can I?
That's what you secretly you want to go and hunt bears in Russia.
Do you want to know about this travel bug? And I want to share it with you.
Yeah, because I don't have it.
Okay, but let me tell you what happened. I had the interview as Jeremy Mansfield started his chemo treatment.
Oh yeah,
and that immunotherapy treatment for my television show on CakeNet called Dade Looked Up to have Jeremy interviewed. And I was sitting in the interview, and Jeremy told her the story of meeting, and he even brought on the American accent. He was on a cruise ship in Alaska. He was about 41 years old. And the guy said, "Sonny," in his American accent. So they were having a beer or whatever. "Tell me, what are you doing here?" And he said, "I'm just enjoying this trip. I love holidays." And he said, "You know," the guy was about 85 years old. He said to Jeremy Mansfield, he said, "You know, Sonny, you are going to have, if you're lucky, for the rest of your life, another 40 summers and another 40 winters."
Yeah.
And you're going to make them count.
Yeah.
And interesting enough, Jeremy only had 18, not 41.
Yeah, he didn't.
Okay. And I want to tell you that we did that interview with Jeremy, and he never had another summer because he only saw the winter. And I'm not trying to depress everybody, but I want you to think about the notion that in our lives, Gareth, we're sitting in our mid to late 40s, and comfortably we probably have another 30, 35 years.
Do you think about that?
You got to think about it because it's cool. Because it's cool to know that if I don't make my 30 summers count and my 30 winters count. You know, I'm going to miss out on beautiful things and experiences in life. Because that's what we got. That's what we've got in this
I
world.
don't disagree. I mean, I think that that's one of the reasons that people should travel. And I also think it's because if you're interested in the world, you want to see as much as possible. But I don't have this burning, like,
You do a lot of
anxiety. I travel a bit, but I mean, this year I haven't gone overseas once. And I'm not, like, upset about it.
But no one's saying to you that you have to go overseas. I mean, I love Cape Town. I love Knysna. I go to the bush regularly because I love South Africa and what our game reserve have to offer. I mean, a couple of years ago during COVID, I had because I was able to cross provinces. I used to drive and go for a drive into the Pilanesberg. You know, if you want to do something great with your kids, is you leave 8 o'clock in the morning, you get to the Pilanesberg at 10, costs you like $150 for the car.
Yeah, and you can drive around all day.
Drive and see beautiful animals, and drive back home, and you're home by 7 o'clock at night. You know, there are things that you can do. I'm not saying you need to go and spend mega bucks on a tank in Russia. I'm saying, I mean, or go to Mykonos. I'm saying to you, you need to understand that you can celebrate, and you can do it camping, and you can do it fishing, and you can do it playing golf, but that's what you're going to have. And the reality check is, if you're watching now and you're 30 or 35 years old, you probably have 40 or 45 more summers.
That's it.
And winters left in your life.
I often think about that thing.
Same with your birthday. Your birthday needs to be celebrated.
Yeah, well, all right. I mean, like, you're not going to convince me of that. There was we have Tourvest on here often, and we talk about travel.co.za. And last time Achi from travel.co.za was here, he mentioned that there's this thing called over touristing that's happening in Europe at the moment, where the Europeans themselves are pissed off because they need tourism, but the tourists have taken over their cities. So places like Barcelona, for example, are actually limiting the amount of hotel rooms and Airbnbs there because they're sick of tourists. They're actually furious. They're angry about it. Do you worry about that? Going in there and...
Listen, I go in. I don't go out. I'm smart because I don't feel like screaming at kids on the beach.
Yeah.
Jumping all over me.
So what do you do?
I leave with the school holidays now start.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I'll go now. No, so you got to be clever about your travel. But I think it's fun. I think it's great to see new places. It's good to go. You're supporting the economy. You know, we look at South Africa, and when we have a rugby game and you get like 5,000 people.
Were you there on Saturday?
From Ireland? No, I wasn't. Strangely, I wasn't actually. But I had to work to do in Cape Town. Else I would have been there. But 5,000 people come from New Zealand. I mean, how incredible is that? You have 5,000 people coming to see South Africa from New Zealand, and we need that money. We need that spend. It creates jobs, and it's cool. And you traveling is like reading. It takes you to learn about a place, another culture. It teaches you about art, especially European travel, because of the thousands of years of history there. Okay, or to go to Greece to learn about the Parthenon, or to go to Lebanon and learn about.
What I'm asking you is, like, there's this huge queue. I was in Greece last year, and if you want to go up and see the Acropolis, it's a queue. It doesn't matter what time you get there.
But you got to be clever because you book your time, and then you get the fast pass.
Oh, okay. Is that what you're going to do this time?
No, that's what you do. You do smart things. Otherwise, you wait in the queue. What you going to do? Die?
There's a way.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Alan Ford, who once fetched me and said, "Come, you better put on your dinner jacket. We're going to the presidential inauguration." Snuck into that. So you don't like a queue. You know how to get in.
Well, I won't sneak into a queue. In foreign lands, it's quite shit. But like, for example, I went to last year to Pompeii.
Oh, yeah?
And I was blown away by Pompeii. Did I tell you about Pompeii?
No.
Pompeii has got to be the most fascinating place I've ever been to. Because the city was literally frozen.
Yeah.
Because as the ash came, you actually literally
pulverized people. Yeah.
Some people just froze in the ash.
Yeah.
So you actually see them frozen in the ash, or the horse was just frozen in the ash. And they've excavated and done some incredible things. So that was phenomenal to go and see that.
What's your favorite thing about Pompeii?
I got to tell you, this is my favorite thing. So we're walking through the streets of Pompeii.
Yeah.
And it's obviously the ruins.
Yeah.
But unlike other cities, it hasn't been bombed or there's been no wars there because it was just frozen because of this volcano. Mount Vesuvius is the size of Lion's Head. It's unbelievable how this little mountain destroyed all these people. Okay. In 71 AD.
Yeah.
But here's the fascinating thing about it. As you're going through, you first go through the bathhouse and the sauna, and they tell you about the hedonism of the Romans.
Yeah.
But then you go to the brothel. And this is fascinating.
I knew, as usual, if Alan's on the show, we're going to talk about whores at some point.
So we walk through the brothel. It's the most exciting place to actually see, because this is the brothel. You go into the brothel, and they've got like the stone beds on each of these, maybe 6 rooms.
Okay.
I think there's 6 rooms. And if you've done this, you'll know what I'm talking about. And above in the mosaic is what you can do in that room.
Oh, it's like a menu.
It's a menu. So that room, the girl offers that. And in that room, the girl offers, you see the bum. So obviously that's it. And then as you come to the end, because it was a hedonist society that kind of was fluid, and they didn't believe, they didn't class you as gay or straight or bi. There's 2 guys and 1 girl, and then there's 2 guys at the end. So
you were excited by that idea. You would have frequented that brothel in those days.
I think, if you do a past life regression, I'm just saying.
You probably did.
I probably did.
Maybe you caused the explosion with all your sin.
Anyway, it was very interesting. Roman times.
Alan just had a terrible realization that he might have caused the eruption of Vesuvius.
Yeah, it could be.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But it is amazing how...
But that's interesting to learn.
No, but
you learn.
So we always think we're so evolved, that we're so different, we're so much better than other societies. And, the modern human is a much more complex creature. But exactly the same. Like if they froze Johannesburg in time, like Pompeii, there would be some really, really difficult stories to explain.
Oh.
You remember when 9/11 happened? And there was that guy who told his wife that he was going to work. And she phoned him when the plane flew into the World Trade Center. And he answered the call. And she said, "Oh, my God, are you all right?" And he's like, "Yeah, why? What happened?" She was watching TV. He told her he was going to work, but he was visiting his mistress.
Very lucky guy. Not
Lucky?
Because of the mistress, because he didn't die.
Yeah, but I mean, it's those kinds of things. Like if everything stopped in time, what would people say if they dug up everything that was going on in this city? I'll tell you what, there'd be some stories.
Yeah. But but most people were pulverized, obviously.
Yeah, well, everybody was. They even if they managed to get out into a boat.
Yeah, they
into
also
the Bay of Naples.
Did you know that they did? Yeah,
because the ash. It wasn't the. People always think when a volcano erupts that it's like the
ash that
lava.
burns you. It's the ash.
Yeah, the ash just it compacts around you, and you basically become fossilized inside there. Burns you to a crisp.
There's a great documentary.
Lovely. What a lovely conversation for this time of the morning.
So if we are depressing you, please forgive us. We'll change the subject. What else are we talking about?
There's a lot going on. Actually, I wanted to, Alan's mate when he hit home. How was your trip, Alan? It was a nice Pompeii. Pompeii,
yeah. Now, clever. That's cute.
So Percy says he went to Ephesus. Mary Magdalena started her naughtiness there. Walked on a route backwards without a guide and had the whole place to myself for 3/4 of the walk. Yeah, you have to do things differently if you want to see it, I suppose.
And that's Ephesus. That's in
Turkey, Ephesus.
It's in Turkey, yeah. How did she walk? So she must have met Jesus after that. Because she had reformed her ways. Okay. And Alan...
she had reformed her dirty ways, El? Is that what you're saying? All right, so
what did Dr. Robin say?
Who?
Yeah.
And Alan rethinks the naming of his penis to Vesuvius because he caused the eruption. Hopefully you don't have like a pet name.
Dr. Robin.
Okay, so apparently single individuals in Spain have been visiting a supermarket chain called Mercadona from 7 to 8 p.m. This is a thing that's going on in Spain at the moment. We were just talking about Barcelona. Yeah. So apparently they go there to find romance by using a full-based code. Okay, so the trend involves placing a pineapple upside down in their shopping trolley, then heading to the wine section where they hope to connect with someone that they find attractive. It was sparked by a video on TikTok and has led to chaotic and disorderly scenes in stores. While some find it amusing, others, including the store employees, are not pleased with the mess it creates. Additionally, there are concerns about how social media trends can influence and shape social behavior. So clearly the Spanish have lost the ability to actually just walk up and talk to each other, that you now have to turn a pineapple upside down in your shopping trolley, and that's a sign that you're interested in.
Okay, so
you're free, you're single.
So I was in Barcelona. I never saw that. But there are places that you can go to that says that clubs or bars where if you're wearing the
but that's an
pink,
old thing. Wasn't that happening 10 years ago
but
already?
if you're wearing the pink tag, you're single.
Okay.
If you're wearing the blue tag, you're in a relationship. You're wearing the orange tag, you are polyamorous, you're open to things. And
so which one did you wear?
No, I'm in a relationship, so
you wear the relationship one.
Yeah, but and then the one that you're in will tell you if you can be hit on, and that's what they do now.
Yeah, but okay, let's be clear about this.
Which is different.
Sure, and I mean at least it cuts to the chase, so
well,
people know what
pineapple upside down is a bit backwards. At least there would be a way to do it.
The problem is though, just because you're wearing the orange band and someone else is wearing the orange band doesn't mean you want to be with them just because they're available.
No one's saying that.
No, I mean
just because the one man has a pineapple upside down and the woman's got a pineapple upside doesn't mean they're going to go
this is
together.
the problem. I mean,
but they might find something in that one section.
Clearly, people are. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing this, right?
Yeah, but it seems like it's really fascinating.
But isn't it complicated? Have we lost?
Why are they not on Tinder?
Why have we lost the ability to actually just walk up and speak to each other? Like before Tinder, before upside down pineapples and carts, before wearing the different colored bracelets, people still got together. The human species has survived because people clearly found each other and had sex. So why is it complicated now? Have we lost, because of these goddamn phones, have we lost the ability to just meet people and have a relationship?
I think things have evolved, number one. Number two is that because I have a lot of people say to me, how do you meet someone? And social media is a nice way to meet people. Tinder, if you want to go.
When you were single, were you on those apps?
Do you know what? I wasn't on the Grindr app, but because the Grindr app, you're like, if you want action 100 meters away, let's go have a.
Is that how it works? Yeah, so it's geolocation. Huh?
Mm-hmm. And Tinder was the
just like that.
Yeah, and the Tinder one was polite. Let's have coffee and just do that. Yeah.
Just like that.
Just like that. And the Tinder one was more polite.
Okay.
But these dating apps are kind of cool, and now they've got like the Jewish dating app just for Jewish people.
Yeah, J-Date or something.
Yeah,
and there's Hinge.
Yeah, so I think they're cool, and I think that if you're lonely or you'd like to meet someone, maybe you're not lonely, and you'd like to put yourself out into the world, it's a nice way to do it. And if you have a drinking problem and you can't go to clubs, then that's another way to do it. So
there was that celebrity one, which somebody told me about, and I actually downloaded it and went on it. It's the only one I've ever tried. And I was curious to see who else would be on it, right? And they vet you before you go on. It's called Raya, something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is. I'll look it up just now. But they supposedly, like these, famous like Hollywood celebrities are on there. I didn't see any. I was like on there for a day and I was out. I have no
Hollywood celebrities are people. Keep it in mind. And if you're in LA, you interact with them like they're just regular oaks. And often I know guys that have hooked up at celebrities' houses for these one-night stands on those social media apps.
Really?
And all of a sudden there's Tom X or George Y. Or
you're not mentioning any names, huh?
I'm not mentioning names. I'm just giving you common names, and there they are. And they hook up. So, yeah.
All right, let's talk about something serious for a second here, because this is in the news this week as well. Apparently, SARS have introduced a new two-pot retirement system. Not tin pot, because that would be bad. But SARS have got a two-pot retirement system, which allows people to access a portion of retirement savings before retirement. The system, because this has always been something that I thought was really stupid. For example, you save, let's say you're putting 1,000 Rand away every month for your retirement. And then you're like in your mid-50s and you suddenly need to pay off the house in a hurry or something. And you can't access this money, which is your money, but it's tied up. So apparently this two-pot system, which we've got to look into a bit, allows you to split the retirement funds into a vested component, a savings component, and a retirement component. Withdrawals from the vested component will be taxed at the individual's marginal tax rate. Taxpayers can use the two-pot retirement system calculator to establish what their estimate for their withdrawal might be. SARS has warned taxpayers to consider restrictions on withdrawals, such as being registered for tax and having no outstanding returns or debts to SARS. Of course, they just want more money. Additionally, the tax directive system and application forms have been updated to accommodate these changes.
It's very simple. People are not coming in at the end of each month and need more disposable income.
So you mean that they don't have enough to cover their costs?
That's it.
Yeah.
And there are lots of reasons for that. And a lot of the reasons are that we're sending kids to private schools.
Yeah. It's expensive.
Life has become. I mean, if you look at the price of potatoes went up last year 40%. It's a potato, man. For goodness sakes. You know those Irish potatoes. I mean, come on.
By the way, Carl says there's a dating app for the Lebs. It's called. It doubles as a family tree.
Okay. Carl.
Very good.
Yeah. Old one.
My 92-year-old grandfather, says Bitcoin, but told me how he met my granny. She called to sell shit to his first wife. He wasn't there. She wasn't there. They talked about getting divorced, and then my granddad said, "So we need to get together." See, those are the old days, huh?
Okay, and so it happened. It happened in all. It happens in all societies, I guess. If you wanna meet someone, you're gonna meet someone.
I'm currently unemployed because of the two-pot system. I took all my 13 years pension fund, says Sugar Chabalala. Yo, okay, that's not good.
Yeah.
See that comment?
But Scott's given, Scott.
Sugar.
Scott, what am I talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
The South African Revenue Service. SARS. Sorry.
Scott.
I thought SPARS. I got confused at a moment. It's age. But they've warned you. They've told you, please be careful.
Well, as Carl says too, it's a bad idea. Can you imagine how many people the state is going to have to look after in 30 years? And we can't even look after people who are not retired yet. Yeah. Unemployment's a major problem. I'm a little bit nervous about this.
Listen, it's, I think that they're putting it's testing the waters. But people need money, and the banks aren't giving you money anymore.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
loans aren't.
Yeah.
So what are they doing? What are you going to do? You're going to sleep in cemeteries?
Well, Percy says it's like pre-retirement, as in not retirement, but pre-retirement. I don't know if that's such a good idea. Also says, what about the reasons and outcomes of our president's visit to China? It's amazing what's going on in the world. Like, our president has spent a good couple of days in China now, doing all kinds of deals, and we don't know anything about it. Most people are just completely oblivious to this.
I don't know. Busy pacing snow on Table Mountain, which is untrue.
You're still going on about this.
Let's be honest.
Jesus, Al, you got to move on.
So,
but do you know anything about what the president's doing in China?
No clue.
No, does it bother you? Because you used to be in news all the time.
We both were.
Yeah.
So it's
amazing how your life can carry on with or without the news.
Yeah, I mean, the news is important, but it's not. Yeah, it's not at the forefront of my agenda in my life. President in China.
Do you? I mean,
but I want to tell you something. I firstly loved your interview with our new minister.
Gayton, yeah.
This is a politician that reminds me of our politicians that we interviewed back in the day. People like Kara Asma and like and in the traffic.
Oh, Dullah Omar.
He
was Minister of Transport at the time.
And we used to have fun with them, and you could talk to your ministers. Our ministers,
they became a bit boring.
Not only they became serious. Set on their high horses.
Yeah.
They weren't from the people.
Yeah.
If we wanted to speak to Fred Njanwala, we could pick up a phone. You could go up to them. You could, we lost touch. They lost the ministers, and a lot of them are fired now. Cheers. Shot.
By the way, I saw something interesting with Gayton, because he is Gayton McKenzie is definitely the most interesting person in cabinet at the moment. And he was at the Rugby on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I watched the opening, the anthems, and apparently there's a whole lot of controversy about the plane flying over during the haka, pissed off the New Zealanders.
We'll discuss that in a second.
We got to get into that. But when they announced that Gayton was on the field, people cheered. Now, how long ago did people in this country cheer? Usually when the minister goes on the field, people boo. But in this case,
they actually... in Tetwa was
Natin Tetwa.
Nkosi Natin is his full name.
Yeah.
What a boring minister. The man didn't know what an art... He wouldn't know how to... if I stuck a Picasso in front of him, he wouldn't know the damn thing is. If I kicked a rugby ball, he didn't know what he was doing. He just ate the fat, ate, and got more stupid. Do me a favor. Good riddance to bad rubbish. The whole bloody lot of them. And let me just tell you, I was a member of the ANC. And I can tell you this now. That, what they did to this country was sacrilege. So now bring
You
something
were a
new.
member, card-carrying member.
Yeah, I was, and you know I was. And so
Forgot
you know
about
what?
that.
Let all you fat oxes, you know what? Be put out to pasture, and may you go to jail because you robbed from this country.
Jesus.
You know what?
See how he gets all like
I
head
lo-
up about stuff.
you know what I loved about Gayton McKenzie about the Olympics,
Yeah.
which we'll talk about now. But the Olympics, he turned around and said, we cannot. We have 60 million people, and you've got Tajikistan and these other people have 150 athletes. He said, we have 150 athletes going to the Olympics. His goal is to get 300 people.
Yeah.
300 people to the next Olympics.
We absolutely could.
And we can because the talent's in this country. But
Definitely.
the fat minister of sports and these oxen that should have been slaughtered.
Jeez,
Like
calm
Mussolini.
down.
Like
Calm
Mussolini.
down.
Let me continue. They should have been slaughtered because I tell you what they've done is they screwed up this country. They got fatter and fatter, and they did nothing for the arts. They did nothing for culture, and they did nothing for sports.
Jittery Curser says the last sports minister I can remember was Nkonde Belfour. Remember him?
And he was when we were at the prison, we started the show. He was the minister of correctional services. Nkonde, you know, he was triple my size. He was a very sweet man. I liked the man. But that's not your minister of sport.
Well, one of the things that I'm really impressed about with Gayton is, and I said this to him in the interview, is that he is walking the talk. He actually wakes up. He does a weigh-in every Wednesday and announces his weight to the nation. He's running. He's doing gym. He's doing all the physical exercise he can fit into his schedule. And he says he's going to get thin. He says he's too big.
And you know what? This is a guy that is saying, Gareth, I will never forget this. One of the top songs in South Africa was Paradise Road.
Yeah, Joy.
And the lead singer in Joy, we went at the time at 702 to go and see her just before she died.
Mm-hmm.
She was living in a shack the size of this space, dying without a bed. And she had one of the top hits in the country. People like Vicky Sampson can't make ends meet at the end of the month. Charlene Suchi Richards couldn't pay for her medical aid.
Yeah, but
These
I mean,
are top South African actors and singers and stars. And
is that why you get involved in things like the Naledi Awards
and the Theatre Benevolent Fund run by Liz Mayring and that?
Because you get involved. You don't just talk about it.
Because we've got to help these guys. Because I mean, later on in the show we're going to be talking about your heritage and culture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got the chairperson of the Joburg Heritage Foundation. I mean, you know, if you listen to this show for even 5 minutes, you'll know how obsessed with history I am. And we've got so much going on in Joburg that we don't know about. There are treasures in this city that are worth protecting and preserving. And thank God for people like the Joburg Heritage Foundation, because they actually are doing the job that the rest of us should be doing, that government should be doing, frankly.
And he fired that Mama Joy.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you, and let me tell you a story. I was there in that stadium, seated 3 places, and went up to go and have a picture with Mama Joy. She was a miserable thing.
Oh, did she not want to do a picture?
My boyfriend refused to have a photo of her the way she was treating the fans. They wanted to have a picture with her, yeah. After the
eyewitness account
then
from
the cameras came. And then she put the smile and she was doing all her crap talk.
Oh, really?
And then she walked up the stair when we won the game. She walked out and people wanted to take pictures. And she said, I'm too busy. I have to get out of here. I have to leave. And I heard her. I was behind her. So, you know what? Screw you, Mama Joy. And I'm happy you're fired, you fat ox. Go to your French boyfriend.
Well, I didn't expect some controversy this morning from you, Al.
And let me tell you,
you're becoming very.
I witnessed it.
You're becoming very direct in your old age.
Fire the damn whatever that is. The damn ox.
Even the producers are laughing. They're like, "Oh Jesus!"
All
right.
I'm having a morning, aren't I?
So somebody says here, Gayton will show his true colors in a few months' time. Political theater. That's what Roland says. He reckons it's just playing to the crowd. Maybe, hey, maybe.
And you know what? That's okay for now. Let's see. But at least it's the right foot to start off with.
Justice says, hey, Gareth, please invite me when you're going to do a tour of Joburg Heritage. I want to learn and be involved. Well, this is what we're hopefully going to find out from our guest just now is what you can do, because they do interesting presentations and tours. And
there's a ghost tour, which is fabulous.
That's right. I've been, I haven't been, but a friend of mine told me a while ago that he'd been on it, and he said it was fantastic. Cassandra says she loves you when you're grumpy.
Cassandra, I'm the nicest human being. Really, I am. But when I get, I love this grumpy gay. Okay. I really am so cool, Cassandra. I'm fun and I'm loving and I'm Lebanese and I'm wonderful. And I'm just, but you know, I just get annoyed.
Percy says it's nice of Alan to have Gareth on his show.
Oh, am I taking over? Sorry.
No, I love it. I think it's fine. Please, share the burden. Not the end of the world. Alan showing flames. This is great. Fuck you, Mama Joy, says Carl. People are.
That's the truth.
Animated this morning.
Yeah.
Holy shit. All right. Well, we got to take a break. It's already 7:00. I can't believe it's been an hour. When we come back, we'll talk Joburg Heritage. We've got to talk a little bit about the anger that New Zealand clearly has for us after flying the plane over the stadium during the rugby on Saturday last week, because they really are like hit up about it. Apparently, they've laid an official complaint, and we've had to apologize and all that stuff. I wasn't even aware of this. My brother was at the game, and he said to me he thought it was very bad. And
I also saw it. I thought it was inappropriate.
And there was a stadium DJ who started playing music like halfway through it.
They got the cue wrong. They've explained it in the statement.
Not good. Okay, well, you can explain it to us because I don't know anything about this, but we'll find out in a little while. Alan Ford's with us. It's Wednesday morning. This is The Real Network.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So where do people get tickets? How do we get our hands on tickets?
Okay, so tickets are available on Howler. You check out the options. It's 275 Rand for a general access ticket. And you can you can take on the park and ride facility from the Mall of Africa, which gets you into the center circuit.
Who's your partner there?
Asani Car Rental is our partner. 20 shuttles running between Mall of Africa into the circuit.
So people arrive at Mall of Africa, just look out for Sani Car Rental.
Yes, it's at gate entrance 6 and 8.
Okay.
Look out for the Sani signage, the festival motoring signage. There's branding all over to direct the visitor. Get into the shuttle and back. And there's free parking if you have the Admit app.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Catch us every Monday at 9 a.m. on YouTube and on autotrader.co.za.
At some point, I also wanted to be a DJ, but I felt like by the time I really almost called PH, please help me get into it. Hey, it was a bit too late.
You should have asked him to teach you how to DJ. He loves giving lessons on DJ.
You know what the problem is? I'll probably stop mid-set and start having a conversation. Did you guys like that? Yeah, you see, my favorite part is when I mix that other part and then I just... I talk too much.
Yes, but you know, the things that you need to DJ nowadays, you've got all of them. You're hot, you have bums, you could just play a song and dance.
Me again, your voice of reason. Did you know you and Mary from accounting have the same medical aid option, but you hardly claim, and she's at the doctor every week and had a hip replacement last year, yet you pay the same? It doesn't add up. Please, check out FedHealth Select options. If you're healthy, you can choose to pay 25% less every month. And if you ever need a planned procedure, you simply pay a once-off excess. Now that's how medical aid should be. Go to fedhealth.co.za.
And welcome if you've just woken up. It's late. Where have you been? You know, some people wake up nice and early. And I noticed there were a lot of cars on the road this morning. It always gives me the indication that the economy is healthy. If there's nobody and nothing's happening, it's bad. It's like a zombie apocalypse or something. I always think,
Or
what
COVID.
if today's the zombie apocalypse? What if today someone bites someone and they become a zombie and I have to be ready for that? That's why I'm growing a vegetable garden. You know I'm growing a vegetable garden now.
I believe so.
Well, I haven't started with the vegetables yet. I'm still building it,
Yeah,
but I'll get there.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Good morning. It's good to be on the show. If you've just
Thank
joined
you,
us,
Al.
yeah, thank you.
So what do you think I should plant in my veggie garden?
Well, I was discussing a moment ago that potatoes are up by 40%.
Are they really?
Yeah, seriously.
So
I said potatoes would be. But you know what? Can I tell you what we used to grow in our garden?
what?
Because we're Lebanese, danya
What's danya?
or kazabro, we say
What is that?
coriander.
Oh, no.
So you know what you should start with? You should start with a small herb. Herb garden's a nice way to start.
Yeah.
It's a lovely way to start. Mint grows like wildfire.
I
Basil.
like mint, basil. Yeah.
It's a nice way to have little pots and start like that.
This is how you know you're
Yeah.
getting old, because you like things like a vegetable garden.
And yeah, I mean, I don't have one myself.
It used to be
but-
like, what are we doing this weekend? Now it's, what vegetables do you want to grow?
But I think you can have so much fun. Tomatoes grow beautifully if you pick the right type
Love
of tomatoes.
Yeah.
But isn't it cool to be able to go to your own garden and pick something?
Absolutely.
So I think
So
it's
being self-sustaining.
I think it's a fun thing to do. It's a fun thing.
We will be joined by David Fleminger a little bit later on. He is from the Joburg Heritage Foundation. We'll find out about this city and what you don't know about all the amazing stuff that is going on in Joburg. And there's so many places you can visit, things you can do that people don't care about, because you immediately think, oh, I've got to get out of Joburg to have fun. Got to go to Cape Town. I've got to go overseas. I've got to do something really expensive. You don't. There's plenty to do here. And let me tell you the history of this place. Oh, there we go. There's my veggie garden. Isn't that impressive?
Wow, that's amazing. So you
No, it's not mine, but
okay.
look at the look. we're
Oh,
sitting in
look
my
where we
garden
are.
right
All
now.
of a sudden
Beautiful.
I'm in Kirstenbosch.
That's lovely, guys.
It's beautiful.
Of course, I didn't grow all of this at all.
Yeah,
And if it looked this
that was
good
the hand of God.
at the end of winter, I'd be very impressed.
Yeah. And Cape Town's looking this good, by the way.
I
A
know.
lot of water, a lot of rain.
No, it's very good. But don't worry, because Alan's going to Greece, so he doesn't care about any of this.
Where nothing much grows there. Because it's quite arid.
Well, it's very arid.
Yeah.
And they've had those terrible fires. All right, but let's get back to this. You were talking just before we took a break about sport, and a big part of this is this weekend, because South Africa's winning everywhere. We've even got some medals at the Paralympics now.
Yeah,
We did well at the Olympics.
correct.
We're winning at rugby.
Yep.
So we're winning everywhere we go, which
Yeah.
is terrific. I love it. Makes me very proud, makes me very happy. I'm not the biggest sports fan in the world.
Mhm.
You know that about me, but this is something I can get into.
We've got Gayton McKenzie putting money into sport. Good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good
But
thing.
what is the problem with these New Zealanders? Are they being oversensitive, or did we really screw up?
We screwed up.
Because you're a production guy.
And I don't often say that.
What happened?
Okay, so the haka,
Yeah.
is like their prayer.
It's a
You know?
religious
So
ritual.
it's a ritual that holds some spiritual sense.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take religion out of it. So it
I mean, I
holds
think
this-
it looks stupid and ridiculous, but that's just me.
But it holds some spiritual space,
Yeah.
and to have a Boeing come over as they're doing it,
Drown them out.
and then to have the DJ in Ellis Park miss the cue and put the music on in the middle of it, and everyone's supposed to start singing.
It's a bit
I-
disrespectful.
Yeah, South African Rugby has apologized profusely, said it'll
Okay.
never happen again, and they apologize. But how stupid is the DJ? I'm going to put the music up. But you know, where's your brain, dude? Where is your brain?
Do we need a stadium DJ?
You do, because it brings a lot of chaos. But I hope they don't hire that DJ again.
All right. Well,
No, because it's stupid.
It caused a
It's-
lot of trouble.
You know, Gareth, do we call it an international sporting incident?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
A
what it
sporting
is.
incident. This is
And
it.
and
We've
you know what?
created
Everyone
an incident.
people I've got to tell you something. Our rugby's so great at the moment. It really is. What we've got to be careful of is that people are gunning for us.
Yeah, they're looking for a reason.
They're looking
to be
for a
cross.
reason. So the Irish hate us, and the Australians hate us. We should beat them. And and New Zealanders and South African and I know there are some of the rugby players well,
Yeah.
my mates,
Yeah.
and they love the New Zealand. They get on well.
Yeah.
They clash with the Titans on the field, but let's not be offensive. It's unnecessary.
Yeah,
Look what Peter says.
Peter says, fuck their haka. They could do it in the change rooms. No other team has this privilege. Screw the haka.
Peter has a point in terms of what.
Peter, I'm with you.
But again, it's listen. I just think it's a cool thing to see, and it's a spiritual thing, and it's a war.
No,
it's
but
a warrior
it's entertainment.
thing,
Come
and
on.
and it's a warrior thing.
So speaking of entertainment,
It's like us having our Zulus, you know, the Zulu,
the
MPs come on.
yeah.
It's a similar concept. So why be rude? But South African rugby has said we made a mistake.
Very rude.
We made a mistake. We
Don't
apologize.
be rude.
Don't be rude.
Have manners.
Just be kind.
Right? Just
But
manners.
don't be grumpy and rude. It's unnecessary.
All right, I like it. Alan Ford basically he single-handedly keeps the theatre business going in South Africa.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. You go to every show. You do. You're supporting them. You like it, but you're also supporting them. You're one of maybe 3 people I know in the whole country who goes to these things, but thank God for you, because otherwise these performers wouldn't have anyone to perform to.
No, it's not the case. There's a lot of people that support the theatre, but I've got to tell you, we can't lose out on how important this industry is. And I want to tell you, there's some fun things happening. We've got My Fair Lady coming. to town.
What? Really?
Yeah, it would be great to see Craig Abani on that stage.
All
We
right.
love Craig.
Yeah.
We've got Mark Lottering starting this week at Peter Turin, which is awesome.
Okay, Mark Lottering's terrific.
I saw a show last week, was mind blown by a guy called Daniel Anderson.
Yeah, what is it?
It's called Vincent, based on the life of Vincent van Gogh,
Painter.
the painter. But
Who cut his ear off.
But a phenomenal story. I didn't know. I mean, I'd been to Provence in France, where this orange house is, where he had.
He painted his sunflowers.
Yeah,
and-
but
Starry
they tell the
Nights
whole
and-
story, and
yeah.
it was amazing. So there's lots of theatre things happening. Kurt Darren is taking to the stages of the teatro, by the way.
What's he doing?
He's going to be singing with friends, and I think it's going to be such a joy. I love Kurt. So these are all happening. Please go buy the tickets, support the arts. There's really cool stuff happening. Lambta's got stuff happening in Cape Town.
Gayton should make you Deputy Minister of Arts and Culture.
Because we've got to support our artists. We've
Because,
got
I
to
mean, he's
support
very
them.
focused on sport, but this stuff needs support as well.
I went to see Karen Zoid's show. I was blown away by her show. Her musical show is excellent, and she's having a big art exhibition
Yeah.
happening on the 6th. So just go to Karen's, and it's phenomenal art. She's planning to set up a artist retreat, like where you can go for 6 months, and
Where?
in Piketsburg, which is one of the
Where
most
the
beautiful-
hell's that?
just outside of Cape Town, probably about 60 or 70 kilometers outside of Cape
Does she
Town.
live there?
No, she doesn't live there, but it's going to be this artist colony, like they have in
Oh,
France.
I don't know if I'd
It's going to
like
be
that.
just so. I'm not for us. I don't know how to paint. You and I are going to be doing a painting. Like you actually not bad at painting.
Yeah, I can pay.
Yeah, you can paint.
But I wouldn't
can't.
want to go to an artist retreat. I
But
can
it's-
imagine
But
that worse.
I think it's quite bohemian and quite fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's having this art auction, by the way. Just it's called Die Wereld.
Okay.
Look up Karen Zoid, and you must. But our artists and our musicians are doing great things.
Yeah.
And our theatre people are. I mean, Mamma Mia was fantastic. Spring Awakening this year was one of the best shows I've ever seen.
See what I mean? He goes to. I'm
So-
not saying it as an insult. I think it's terrific that there are people like you who've kept the arts alive. I haven't been to the theatre for, I don't know, over a decade.
And you used to love it, eh? You used to. You did. You loved Les Mis back in the day. Don't act. Come on, don't act.
Hell, I don't. Now, wild horses couldn't drag me to those things. I immediately sit down and I go,
Yeah. Well, there's lots of fun things happening. There's the children's theatre. It's a great way for kids to do it. The pantomime's coming. And that's
artist retreats are fantastic, says Carol. Why? What have you done there?
Carol, the opening one in Piketsburg. Look up Karen Zoid. Go to her Instagram page, and that's going to be really cool.
We all know theatre freaks have OnlyFans accounts where they make money. Do you think that's true? Matthew?
Some of them are really hot, so I'm going to follow them. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for telling me.
Azalea says, guys, the timing would have been great, but the Maori King passed on, which resulted in the New Zealand team taking a moment of silence before they started the haka. Oh, the Maori King died.
Oh,
So that compounds the problem.
okay.
Makes it even worse. Now
But-
it's very rude.
And you Azalea, that's very correct, because they said their timing was out. So the plane, you remember you had a Boeing coming over.
Yeah.
So they did say that the timing was all off.
So maybe
because
they
of
shouldn't have
something.
taken their moment of silence then.
Okay, so point taken. I didn't know that.
It is hard to put these things together. You imagine you've got to talk to a pilot in a plane who's got to fly over at exactly the right time. You've got people who are ready to play music. You've got the actual performance on the field. You've got the anthems. And it's a difficult thing to coordinate.
And you must start on time.
Did you watch that Olympic opening ceremony? What did you think of that? Because I wanted to know your thoughts. You liked theatre, but you liked it?
What a load of crap. It was such rubbish. Firstly,
it's such a lot of crap.
The camera work that was going on that. I mean, you couldn't see any of the players because they had drones, obviously. And because it's not protected by, like it was in a stadium, there was water spots, obviously from the rain, all over the drone. So you couldn't see anything. We were watching watermarks all over the opening ceremony. And then they had this man running around in a mask all through the Louvre and trying to steal the Mona Lisa. What was he doing? He looked like he was high and absent. And then and then we got to, I'm not even getting, and we had Lady Gaga with the pink feathers. I know they were from South Africa. What John Steenhuisen, and the feathers from the ostrich farm. And then all of a sudden, it was a mess.
So you didn't like it?
I thought the sentiment was great. And then all of a sudden they got to the Last Supper thing, and no one knows what they were doing. And we wanted to be woke, so we thought we'd put drag queens and fashion, and we'll make it on the. Did
it upset you a little bit? You think they were being disrespectful?
I didn't pick it up, eh? So, but I just thought it was unnecessary controversy. The French are so much more than what they did, and I expected more from the French, and that's why I think Los Angeles is going to be so great. I mean, China was phenomenal.
Yeah,
when they had the fireworks, when you were walking through the whole of Beijing, and you could see footsteps running and fireworks. I mean, that's mind blowing. When they had those thousands of drummers, and that's a show. To me, a guy running through a city that you filmed before with a Lady Gaga that's got nothing to do with France. The only thing
shame, you see old Celine Dion.
That was beautiful.
No, shame.
And that was beautiful.
They wheeled her in. I mean, it's bad. Hey, have you seen what she goes through? That poor woman.
Yeah, but
horrible.
But it was beautiful what they did there. So Celine made it, and that Eiffel Tower was magnificent. And I like the sentiment of going through the city. I thought the sentiment was right. But I mean, the kids are watching. Do we need to see a woman in a green screen with a hanging head for Marie Antoinette?
Did you see the guy whose balls
that wasn't. I think it looked like the stocking broke and the fat was out.
You don't think his balls popped out?
No, it was just fat. But I mean, it was just so. But the whole thing was unnecessary. And then now I would have gone on as Macron. I mean, the Pope commented. Everyone commented. I mean, it said, "Come on, man! The whole thing's ridiculous." I mean, and you know what? This is the sad thing, is it took away from the point of the Olympics, which is these athletes who spend their lives working so hard.
Because there were a bunch of people who said they were going to boycott it just because of that opening ceremony. I remember.
And so the athletes are these superstars that did the great things. And it took the focus off. The first week took the focus on all the great athletes.
I agree.
And that's the Olympics. The Olympics is about the athletes.
Well, one of the other things that we're going to do this morning is talk a little bit about the history of Joburg, and I think that this will be exactly up most people's streets. David Fleminger will be joining us in a short while. He is an author, a scriptwriter, and also a director. He's been working in the media business for 25 years. He's published a couple of travel books, and then decided to get stuck into history in Johannesburg. So he's currently the chair of the Joburg Heritage Foundation, which is a position which allows him to pursue his interests in heritage, tourism, and development. We'll find out a little bit about what those are. I did get a chance, since he's come up a couple of times in the show this morning, to talk to the Minister of Arts and Culture about the city library, for example. We've got this beautiful library in Johannesburg. I mean, I know people don't go to libraries anymore. You know, who goes to a library when you can hop on the internet? But there's precious stuff in there. Like, they're books that they're not on the internet, and they're not being printed anymore.
And I mean,
Do you care about that stuff?
Of course, I care about it. I mean, not only that, but you know what? We're not monetizing what we can do in the city, because that could be a beautiful place to have a wedding venue.
Oh yeah,
like they do in Cape Town.
Yeah.
There's beautiful places like the Johannesburg Art Gallery that you can do some beautiful stuff in, or the Old Civic Centre. There's stuff you can do. And that inner city project was working at one point in time, if you remember, in the 2000s.
Yeah, Maboneng and all that stuff. It's still going. But
they were trying to rebuild that whole where the Standard Bank district is and where all and so I don't know what's happened to that project.
I wondered about Ellis Park on Saturday, because that's obviously in a part of Joburg which is not so great.
Yeah, it ain't great.
I mean,
but that that Troyville Hotel is
Yeah?
still rocking. Eh? People love going there for some prawns and
Really?
having a
It's a
vibe.
thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. I don't drink anything, but people make it their local, and it's quite
Really?
cool, yeah.
Troyville Hotel.
And it's right outside Ellis Park. But they cleaned up the streets for the event, so they obviously. But the streets should be clean all the time.
That's
what
the point.
I'm hoping that this new GNU.
Government of National Unity.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about the
actual
I wasn't
wildebeest.
wildebeest, but this new government really could start to fix up and clean up the cities and get stuff right. You know, Cape Town has it right, eh? They have it right.
Would you live in Cape Town?
I did, and now I live in Johannesburg. Joburg I love Joburg. Joburg's my home. I was born and bred in Johannesburg, in Gauteng. Between Joburg and Pretoria, I think we've got two magnificent cities.
Mm-hmm.
And I dig it here. Joburg's got
Energy,
a pulse,
man.
energy.
It's got energy.
Cape Town is lethargic. They're half asleep. Everybody's in a digitist diner, or they artist colonies like Corin's would want to do that.
Yeah, they like that stuff.
It's all that stuff, and it's not, and you're either there to because you're hot, because you're gonna marry someone rich, or you're retired, or you're loafing off somebody, or you want to get high, or you just want to party or drink wine. I mean,
I'm going to record that.
Joburg is where the serious people are.
Okay, I
Cape
agree
Town,
with you.
the Cape Town people are not are always
agree.
late. I mean, half your business is based in Cape Town, by the way. So, but I mean, I'm not knocking Cape Town. I'm just saying it's a different world.
No, I don't
It's a
disagree.
different world.
All right, I'm just looking at the comments here. Libraries are beautiful. We love Cape Town, says Carol. Yeah, we're not saying Cape Town's terrible. That's it. That's all. What book can you find in the library that you can't find on the internet, Gareth? Libraries are a white elephant. Yeah, but you know what? There's something about a first edition book that is the experience of it that you don't get from Kindle. I'm sorry. I'll die on this hill. I love books.
And can I
love
tell you
books.
something? There are kids that need places to go and study for their exams.
Yes.
And there's free entry into the library to go and.
Well, not the Joburg one, because it's been closed for like 4 years.
But you understand what I'm saying? If they opened it, Gareth, kids can go and study in the library. People from Wits University can go and study in the library. There's a place for libraries. And
I agree.
I'm not the biggest and the most avid reader, but I'm telling you, there's a place for a library. Wow,
Somebody asked here, what does Alan think of this new free bleeding fad? I don't know what that is.
What's free bleeding?
What's free bleeding? Does anybody want to explain that
Can
a
you
little
look
bit?
it up?
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
No, I haven't heard of it.
But it came up in the comments. So if anybody knows a little bit more about that,
Free
then please
bleeding
tell us
sounds like
about
hemorrhoids. I mean,
Slippery Pickles with me on books. Pretoria is better than Joburg, says Matthew. Even grumpy old Gareth knows that. I love Pretoria. But I do love Joburg too. There's stuff.
Yeah. Are we like, there's a lot of grumpy coming up. Are we grumpy old men?
People in general are. I don't think I'm having a grumpy day. I'm loving today.
I'm also loving today.
David says libraries have a big place in society. I studied all my university life at the Santon Library.
Yeah. So, and I must tell you, I also used to go there a lot. Also a great library. Yeah. I used to go study at the Santon Library because it was too noisy in the house. We had a big house, but we were Lebanese, so we're noisy. Cooking, screaming,
screaming.
Having a go. So no. So we should go. It was nice to go and sit at the Santon Library to go study, and the library at Wits. And libraries are important.
This is amazing. Grant says in the comments, he goes every week to get his kids some books. It's a great outing, and they love it. Now that is amazing.
Could you remember that, Gay? You used to go in, and they used to stamp your book. And you had a week to read your book, and then you take it back.
You have to bring it back.
And I a few times didn't take it back, so I got fined. But yeah,
there was a story not so long ago about the book that has the biggest fine because it's been
Really?
about like 3 generations of people somewhere in America have kept this book, and the fines just keep adding up and up and up. And they're like, it's not worth giving the book back.
But I think that's kind of cool.
Thousands of dollars.
That's really cool. So, and what happened? Anyway, libraries are good. So hopefully Gayton will sort it out. I like Gayton's our guy. He's cool.
Somebody here hanging out with Jay says, I still go and sit and read in a library. Shout out to the city of Joburg, Bromhof Randburg Library. So they are there. People are using them.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people, but they're using them. I like this.
That's good. That is very.
Have you heard of
very-
something called a puzzle library?
No, but it sounds fascinating.
So it's where you go in and you'd build a puzzle. And
Yeah.
they keep all these puzzles. So I can imagine nothing worse, but some people I think would like it.
Yeah. We did an 1,800 piece puzzle recently.
On holiday.
No, we did it on our dining room table on holiday. It's like at night coming off.
This is what you did for fun?
Rian loves them. I am the worst. I filmed it. I pretended I was a part of it. I think
You didn't take part.
I got 3. I probably got about 5 of the 1,800.
Free bleeding is where women stop using menstrual products and just free bleed.
Oh,
Do you have any comments on that at all, El?
wow.
No.
I don't have a wife and never will, and I have daughters, so I wouldn't have to comment on it.
So
But it would be quite messy.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it would be going against the project where everyone's trying to give girls that are getting very embarrassed by menstruation
we don't have to talk about
pads
this.
and stuff.
I'm okay. I'm
I'm
okay
okay
if we
to
leave it
skip
off
it.
for
We-
today. We've got enough to talk about.
Gareth and Gareth are really gone grilled.
So I know
it's a
you've-
natural process.
You've had this this interesting journey with weight. I see that Gayton McKenzie, who we've been speaking about virtually all morning, he's lost 13 kilograms since he started as Minister of Sport, which is pretty damn good.
I think that's awesome.
It's hard to lose that kind of weight. You know this.
But but I like where he's putting his money, where his mouth is. So I've started out with boxing.
Oh,
Yeah, I've got Joe, and we box on a Tuesday. So Rian goes for one, and it's not easy. Eh? We've got 8 minutes. So 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute.
you're
and
both
it's
doing boxing.
We box together.
Okay.
1 minute, and it's great. So yeah. So I want to pledge. I want to join the minister and lose 13 kilos. I actually would love to be able to do it today because I've got to Greece tomorrow. But I don't think I'll lose 13 kilos.
All right,
But of
very,
course,
very good.
we're popping ozempic and doing all that type of
Oh,
stuff. So
have you been?
I did, but my body became a bit immune to it. I took too much.
What?
of it. Yeah, I lost a lot. I mean, I lost like 15 kilos.
You
on
were
Ozempic.
abusing Ozempic.
No, I wasn't abusing it. I was just.
You said you
I
took
was
too much.
shooting up too much.
You abused it. You
Well,
were
I was
abusing
taking it for
Ozempic.
too long.
Al, you're the only person I've ever met who was abusing Ozempic.
I was overusing Ozempic, and I became a bit. Is the word immune?
No, you can't become immune to it.
Not immune, where the drug doesn't work on you anymore. The medicine doesn't work.
Yeah, well, it's immune, but you can't become immune to Ozempic.
Oh yes, you can.
How much were you using?
I was just having a normal dose, just that they give you.
Al, this is very dangerous. Do you know what that you messing with your kidneys?
No, I was
your
taking
liver.
guys. I was doing it. I wasn't.
Al,
I'm not lying to you.
there are
I'm not-
doctors right now who are screaming.
I took the normal dose of Ozempic, but I took it regularly for 18 months, and now the weight was not. Wasn't losing the weight,
Really? So it's not a.
and I was doing intermittent fasting, but it worked brilliantly. Eh?
So it did work. Or
Yeah.
Even though you were abusing it.
and I wasn't abusing it, Gareth. It became. I was on the highest dose, and I couldn't go. I couldn't take more.
You were abusing it. That's what that's called.
Anyway, geez, I'm
You know when someone is
thank
the-
God I
you know
wore
when they
black today.
prescribe. You know when they prescribe 1 pill twice a day. You take
I
two
didn't,
twice
I
a
didn't
day.
do that. I didn't abuse. I took the regular shot.
But it didn't work, you say, and then you say it
It
did
doesn't work after 18 months. I became immune. Maybe I stopped the intermittent fasting as well, and I started eating chocolate.
It's very bad, Al. It's very, very bad. All right, let's talk about Joburg, because I'm really excited to get into this, and I think it's something that those of us who live in and work in this city care about. David Fleminger, as I mentioned earlier, is an author, scriptwriter, and a director. He's been in the media business for 25 years. He's actually been on the show with us before as well. And David, it's nice to have you here. We've been talking a little bit about Joburg before you even joined us. I love this place. There's some things about Joburg that are really worth celebrating and getting to know about if you don't already. And there's stuff worth saving as well, which is partly what you do with the Joburg Heritage Foundation. How are you?
Yes, I'm good. Thanks, Gareth.
Oh,
Good to be on. It's been many years since I was last here.
What were we talking about last time?
I think we were talking about my book on the Kruger Park, if I'm not mistaken, that I wrote a while
What
ago.
the fuck are you doing, James?
It was the
Oh,
mic.
Jesus.
The mic is flaccid,
That's horrific.
Gareth.
You might have to hold it.
I might have to hold it. Yeah,
Al, do you want to sort out the flaccid mic?
Well, let me help.
I think we're okay. I think we're okay now.
Al's very good at that
Okay, there we go.
All right, so
Hi, David. How you doing?
Hey, good and you, Al?
Good, thanks.
Good.
So tell us quickly how you got involved in the Joburg Heritage Foundation, because it's interesting to know everybody's own reasons for being in there.
Good question. Something I ask myself every now and then. As you said, we live in Joburg. It's a difficult city to love, but those who love it, love it. You know, once it gets in your bones.
You think it's a difficult city to
Yeah,
love?
it is a difficult city to love. It's not like.
Because of the drugs and crime and Nigerians and knifings and.
Well, lots of cities have all,
Taxis and
lots of
gangsters
cities have
and-
all that.
Yeah,
But,
sure.
you know, Joburg is not easy to get into. It's, you know, other cities in South Africa and around the world, they are much more open and accessible, especially for visitors or tourists.
Yeah.
You know, you know where to go, you know
Right.
where the centers are, you know where the hubs are, and the vibe is. Joburg, you got to know. You got to know the ins and outs and the nooks and the crannies and the neighborhoods. It's not an easily accessible city.
That's a good point.
I've found. You kind of need to be a local.
Yeah, I agree.
A little bit.
Agreed.
And it is difficult, especially in the last 10 years. I mean, we've all seen Joburg slowly decay and collapse and just, you know, neglect, mismanagement, whatever. There's a lot not right with Johannesburg city.
So the first thing that people will say is that surely because it's called the Joburg Heritage Foundation, that's almost a bit of a misnomer because Joburg's only about 120 years old.
Yes.
So
that's
it's
right.
not, how can you have heritage when it's within the lifespan of a very old person?
Well, heritage is many things. And one of the things in terms of our legislation is any building older than 60 years is automatically considered heritage. That means that many of our suburbs are now becoming heritage. And as per the legislation, if you want to develop or adapt or modify a heritage building under the legislation, you need to get authorization from the Provincial Heritage Resource Agency.
Really?
That's legislation. Yeah, absolutely. So you need to actually be aware of these legislation and the heritage laws around what you can and can't do. So I love history. I've always loved history. I like to know, you know, for me, history isn't so much the when, it's more the why. Why are we like this? What happened in the past to get us to this current status quo that we're in? So I've always liked history, and I love Joburg.
So just correct me if I'm wrong, but Joburg is one of the only cities in the world that isn't built on a major waterway, and that isn't based on a coast or at a port or any of those things. Most cities grow up around a river or a port or a, you know, some sort of coastal thing, and the reason for that is obviously gold.
Correct.
You know, that was why Joburg was founded, and so it has a very different character to the rest of the world. The other thing about Joburg that's fascinating is that we have an artificial rainforest here that we've created.
Yeah.
We have more trees and plants in the northern suburbs that certainly are not meant to be in the savannah of, you know, what's essentially like the Transvaal.
Well, we're in a grassland.
Yeah.
We should be, the veld is what we should have.
So it breaks the norms in a couple of ways.
A lot of ways. Joburg, as you said, is only here because of the gold. It's a terrible place for a city. We're very high up. We've got no regular water supply, which is why we have to build those massive dams in Lesotho and get the water pumping in from Lesotho. And we are only here for the gold. There are a couple of other cities like this in Texas. They've got a couple of oil cities, which are there for the oil.
Yeah.
But really, there was Heidelberg, there was Pretoria, and up in the Highveld, there was nothing. There was like small settlements because it's a terrible place to build a massive metropolis. It really is.
Oh, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, I am.
Joburg.
We need to know who we are. We are strange people living in a strange city in a strange time. So you know, embrace it. Embrace the strangeness.
Okay, I love this.
But you asked how I got involved in the first place. And I saw that the Heritage Foundation, of course, I'd heard about them. I knew about them. This was about 2019, I would say. And they were offering tourist guide training courses for free.
Okay.
I thought, let me, you know, I didn't have much to do at that time. It was like one day a week for a few weeks, and I got involved, and then I got involved. And the organization was founded in 85, specifically to protect the homes of Parktown, and then in 2012 it expanded Joburg wide and became a much more diverse and much more all-encompassing organization. So I started getting involved, helping them update some of their stuff, organizing online bookings for the tours that they run every week.
And just by the way, you're doing this as a volunteer.
All volunteer driven.
Right, so you're not being paid to do this. This is when people talk about, well, I do some things, some nice things for charity or whatever. Like, this is a proper commitment. And as you said, you got involved, which means the difference, what do they say? The difference between the pig and the chicken at breakfast, right? Is that the chicken is involved, the pig is committed.
Well, I've become the pig. I've got to say, I've become the pig. But yes, it is entirely volunteer driven, which is a remarkable thing in its own right. That it's not just me; it's an entire team of people who are passionate about Joburg. How many people are we talking about? We've only got about 450 paid up members, but actually our management and our kind of active committees that actually do the work, 24 3 perhaps, of hardcore inner people.
Get Alan on; he's very passionate.
Come on, Alan. We're always looking.
Well, I'll tell you something. This is a great city, and the city, and we talk about Sir Herbert Baker, and of course all those fancy, lovely things, and the ghost tours which I've done, which is kind of fun.
I'm going to correct you there, but carry on.
Okay, but you know what's so interesting about Johannesburg is about the people that came here to mine.
Yeah.
So you had Afrikaans people, you had then the Lebanese, the Greeks, the Jews, and you had Soweto, the Southwest Township, which was linked to the mining, and so we had this Nguni populace coming in. You had the Indian community, which is, I mean, you go to the Oriental Plaza, they call it Foodsburg now, just that one street, Mint Road, is filled with the most phenomenal food. So you had all these wonderfully interesting, crazy people coming in who were kind of all, and we're talking about, you're right, 140 years ago, they came in to the city, okay, in 1886 through to the early 1900s, brought their cultures, built their churches, built their synagogues, built their mosques. And so you have such an eclectic city.
Yeah.
Of people.
It really is. It really is.
And so what people don't understand, what came with an eclectic city came eclectic buildings, eclectic food, eclectic restaurants, and that heritage. And so Joburg doesn't sit as just like you described it initially. It sits with all these microcosms of communities that have contributed into this crazy.
No, I like that.
And that's what makes our food in the city so great. So yes, you're going to get your fufu stuff all in Cape Town. You get all that crazy stuff, but you're going to find the great Giovanni restaurants and the good Chinese food in little Chinatown, and that is what Joburg's about. And that's why I'm so happy to endorse what you're talking about, because I think we've got it here.
Well, I've always said that Joburg is a city of immigrants. There was nobody here first. You know, everybody came with the gold. And because our gold on the main reef is actually a very low-grade reef, it's very big, but it's not a high-quality gold. It requires a lot of services to support the gold mining industry. So that's why all these people came in to support the industries. And it's a very rich tapestry of people, of cultures. And the thing about Joburg is, I find, which is what I love about the city, it's not full of airs and graces. It is what it is. You are who you are. I like you. I don't like you. I'll tell you. It's a no bullshit place.
And that's what reminds me a little bit of New York when we talk about Joburg. It's one of the reasons I could feel more at home in New York than I did in LA, for example. But if people come here, like American guests I had earlier this year, you always go, well, where do we take them? What do you want to see in Joburg? Because there isn't really a plan. Like, you can hop on in any major city, you can hop on those open buses and you can go to all the sites around the city. But in Joburg, people are like, well, what do I really want to see? So just give us a top 5, and then let's talk about some of these.
Not so easy, because it depends on what you like.
Exactly.
You know, do you like shopping? Right. Then you must go to the shopping malls. Do you like heritage and
But you
history.
can shop anywhere. That's terrible. I
You
mean,
see, okay, so Gareth, there is obviously the whole political side of Johannesburg. So I'm
jump in.
jump in, take over. Al, it's fine.
But for example, Vilakazi Street, and then of course you can go tours of Soweto. There's all that side,
Yeah, of course.
and then of course the Apartheid Museum, and you've also got the Gold Reef City, which is kind of a fun little spot if you still want to.
Hey, I like Gold
Sure.
Reef City. I like a roller coaster.
You know, and it tells you about the history of mining as well. So there's that side of it, and then, but I'm on your point. What else is there besides just Sandton City Shopping Centre
So
and
look,
good food places?
I would say that, as you say, apart from the Lily's Leafs farms and the Con Hill, which is fantastic, by the way,
Yeah.
and those kinds of political, as you said, places, I would say the neighborhoods. Go and explore Greenside, go and explore Parktown, Parkhurst rather. Go and explore the remaining high streets that we have. Those are interesting.
I can already hear people from the rest of South Africa going, what neighborhoods? You Joburg people have such high walls that there are no such thing as neighborhoods. I mean, a little bit further afield, there obviously are places like Murrupeng, and this is valuable to all of humanity.
Correct.
We've got the cradle of humankind.
Yeah.
And there's so many places just outside of Joburg that are fascinating. And we've got the ability for people to stay in a hotel here in Sandton and hop in a car and be in a nature reserve within an hour or two.
Pilanesberg is exactly an hour and 40 minutes if you go from Fourways.
Yeah.
But even in the south, there's that other one,
Klippriviersburg and Suikerbosrand. So also one of the things that I should say that one of my favorite things to do in Joburg is I walk the Linksfield Ridge.
Oh, wow.
And we actually do that as part of, so the Heritage Foundation does walking tours pretty much one a week.
What do you see up on the Linksfield Ridge? Dead bodies?
No, it's beautiful up there. It's absolutely, they cleared all the dead bodies out years ago. It's fine. It's something we're working on because the ridge is actually undeclared property. And there's a section of the ridge which is totally undeveloped. It's undeclared. I've been trying through the Heritage Foundation to get the city to actually develop some walking paths and put up some signage. And
so what do you find up there? Animals?
I haven't seen any animals. I'm sure they're there because it is actually quite untouched.
Well, the homeless people get in there, they'll eat them.
So the funny thing is, I've been walking up on the ridge for about 4 or 5 years now. And when I first started walking, you could see signs of people living up there.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Really?
The residents have got armed responses walking up and down the ridge. And I have not seen any signs lately.
Okay.
We do see some church groups go up there to pray, and there are a couple of things like that. But the views are spectacular over Johannesburg, especially in Jacaranda season.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful place. You feel like you're out of the city.
Okay, one of the other things that I love about Joburg, and I've been threatening to do this for a long time. I've been to some of these places because there've been events there. But you mentioned that the Joburg Heritage Foundation started with these beautiful houses, these landlords' houses, which are spectacular.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are magnificent architecturally. Mm-hmm. A lot of them still have the original interiors. Some of them are still homes that people live in.
Some of it's Hollard Insurance, but
we thank Hollard for their good work on keeping up Villa Arcadia. It looks amazing.
And
it's I've been in a good way. Yeah.
And by the way, a great venue for anybody to use for almost anything. So
and Villa Arcadia is an interesting little thing because my dad was the one who first built that pool for the orphanage. Because that was the old Jewish orphanage.
It was the home of Lionel Phillips.
Yes.
And then it was bought by the Jewish Orphanage Society, and it was the Jewish orphanage
and my
for
dad
many years.
built the pool there. For the orphans.
For the orphans.
Yeah, they did it.
No one cares about the orphans anymore, El.
But
no one's looking after the orphans anymore. How often do you hear people go, I did this for the orphans? Not anymore.
My dad built the sparkle pools. They did the.
Okay, well, that's nice.
One of his first things that they did there, actually. That's why I was always had it for that. But a beautiful building.
Beautiful building.
Beautiful building.
And there are quite a few of those, and that is one of our more popular choices to do the landlord mansions.
What's your favorite one? I mean, if you were in Joburg for a couple of days and you wanted to see one of those houses and you wanted to go out to, game reserve or whatever.
So again, they're not all easily accessible. They're not all open to the public on a daily basis, which is one of the problems. I think probably the most spectacular is Dalobran.
Yeah.
which is the one as you come up the M1 highway, just going over the ridge, coming down into Braamfontein.
On the right.
On the right is Northwards. So Northwards is the classic Herbert Baker mansion, beautiful home, exceptional stone, dressed stone, copy stone, and Baker. You can get into all the Baker's things. Across the road, across the highway is Delobran. It's the weird onion domed house with a weather vane on top. I always thought it looked like a bit haunted and like a little bit like abandoned or whatever.
Aren't they a bit haunted, some of these places?
Well, this one, I always thought it was because it looked like a picture of a haunted house I read in a book as a child. And I always thought as a kid, that house is definitely haunted. It's in the same family, 5 generations later. It is immaculate. It is as it was when they first built the house. And it's a spectacular home, but you can't get in. We get in maybe once a year. We get a special permission to do tours of Delobran. I think that's my favorite. And also Tracy's Folly. But it's called Beauvais technically, but it's also called Tracy's Folly. If you're coming up Sylvia's Pass, there is on your right-hand side a big Cape Dutch gabled house that you can see from just about anywhere on that side of the ridge. It's a big white facade with Cape Dutch gables. That's perched right on the edge of the ridge with the most spectacular views. And it's a beautiful home. And that's a business now, which we also get into every now and then.
Listen, it's amazing. If you do what I became a real Google Earth nerd for a while when they first started, making it accessible to the public. You could see these satellite sort of pictures. There are some big, beautiful houses in Joburg. I mean, some of them are obviously in private hands and they're not open for tours. But I've been around Joburg and I've been invited to things. And you go to people's houses and you think, my God, anywhere else in the world, this would be the most spectacular address you could have. And
it was probably the 60s and 70s.
The gardens, the houses. I mean, this stuff, I don't know how anyone could think that Joburg's boring if they've been to some of those houses in Parktown. And
Joburg is the biggest bargain in the world right now when it comes to property.
Big time.
You can buy things in Joburg that you could not buy for a triple the price anywhere else in the world. We are blessed with space, and we are blessed with large homes and large gardens and large. I go overseas and I see how my friends are living, and it's wonderful. You're living in these metropolises, but you've got no space. It's tiny. Your apartment's tiny. Your life is very small. Whereas, and I think it works to our advantage and our disadvantage because we don't leave our homes. We stay in our homes because we're comfortable and we've got our space.
And
we
people
don't go out
entertain
as
at home.
much.
I mean, I've noticed that, especially since COVID, a lot of people aren't going out to do things. They're inviting people they want to them, rather.
I want to bring up a political question. We're now sitting with this new dispensation. Okay. How badly did this wars of the parties and the councils stuff up the city? Because a mayor changes every week.
We had a Nyope mayor for
I'm
how
so
long?
damn bored of these crappy politicians, these rubbish politicians.
The deer in the headlights. You always struck me as a deer in the headlights.
But they're rubbish. They're a bunch of rubbish fools. You are rubbishers. Should be taken off earth.
Here we go.
But here we go. How much has that stuffed up the city?
Severely. The short answer is severely.
Rubbishes.
And the simple reason is that Joburg suffers terribly from poor management. And this constant changing and churn in the city it's impossible to work with. So, I mean, we can talk about this in more detail later, but we are dealing with...
I'm not laughing at the problem, by the way. I'm
laughing at I got that.
He looks at me.
They're rubbish dogs. You rubbish dog.
You see.
Rubbish.
But he's right.
And Joburg people, politicians in this city has stuffed it up, including Herbert Mashaba. I add you to the rubbishers.
Brave words.
Yeah, why not?
No.
Would the city look great? It worked well under him, eh? Don't talk nonsense.
We're not going to name names. We're not. You can name names. I'm not going to name names.
Listen,
what I will say is that
the stuff that's
all right, Al, calm down.
Sorry, I'm not.
But there's been a complete lack of management. There's been neglect. Lack of management. Of course, there's corruption, all that stuff. The CBD,
there's that one street that exploded
a year ago.
A year or two.
A year and a half.
It still hasn't been fixed. You can't go there. And the place is it's got a huge. It looks like you spoke about Pompeii earlier. It looks like an ancient ruin.
Let's correct something. Carlos wants to know. David said he was going to correct Alan on the ghost tours.
I'm so sorry. Okay,
tell me about the ghost tours
very quickly. So the ghost tours is done by a very great guy, Mark Rose Christie. He specialized in ghost tours.
I did it a while ago.
Yes. And he does his ghost tours, and they're great. They're fun. They're wonderful. We don't do a ghost tour, and he's not part of us.
Okay.
We do our own tours, and they are either going to be about a heritage home or a neighborhood that people don't know about so well. I do a murder tour, which is actually a great tour because there are some really twisted true crime murders.
By Daisy DeMelke's house.
Daisy DeMelke is one.
Daisy.
Okay, so never mind Daisy's house in Turfentine. So Daisy miscarried her kids in Turfentine, but she murdered her husbands in Bertram's. So Bertram's. And one block away from Daisy DeMelke's house was the house of Ronald Birch's mother. And Ronald Birch chopped up his wife and then dropped different parts of her body in 3 different lakes around Johannesburg.
Was Bruma one of the lakes?
Not Bruma, it hadn't been built yet. It was Wemapan, and then I can't remember the second one.
Sounds fascinating.
And the head was found in Zoo Lake.
Oh, Jesus.
So he was known as the Zoo Lake murder. And there are lots of really creepy, weird murders. Not ghosts,
I want to do the murder.
You must do the murder and madness tour. It's actually great fun.
See, now that sounds like fun.
It's great fun.
I'm going on a tour in Greece, and I want to just spark something in your brain.
Sure.
They take you to Athens, and they do a food tour. Okay, and it might be something to consider. I don't know if you do it. Because it would be great to do a food tour, starting in Fordsburg with the lovely Indian foods as we move in through to the more eclectic food you're finding in Greece. Because there could be a food trail.
Yep,
absolutely. Or you could make one. You always invent things. Why not?
Sure.
Alan, I think you should become one of our guides.
Well, someone says in the comments here, Azalea says Alan should be mayor of Joburg.
I'd support you. Not an easy
this
job,
is your
Alan.
Next evolution.
It's not an easy job, I got to tell you.
Be mayor of Joburg.
No one's saying that it's nothing is meant to be easy, but it needs to be fixed and done.
So I'll tell you,
and it can be done.
So the Heritage Foundation does our tours. We do. We have a massive research center, which has really got some really important stuff in it. We have educational tours for school kids. We do. We run these HPCs, joint heritage plans committees, which help residents and developers comply with heritage legislation. This is all voluntary. But what we have been doing a lot in the last year or so is advocacy and activism for Joburg, specifically the inner city. Okay. We've been brought in to advise and consult, and we are getting a very in-depth look at how the city works and doesn't work. And one thing I can tell you, because we're working on about 4 or 5 different projects in different degrees in the inner city, trying to restore these abandoned buildings, because we know an abandoned building is a building at risk. We know that.
Yeah.
So, we have to do something.
I think kudos to the banks who have maintained their place in the CBD, because they've really kept it alive to a large degree.
We're hoping to try and regenerate that, or at least play a part in regenerating, because it's going to take a big effort to turn the city around.
How can people support the Joburg Heritage Foundation? Because it wouldn't be right for me to invite you here and then not give you an opportunity to find...
For a punt.
Yeah, to find support. And there may be people who want to volunteer their time.
We'd love that.
We'd love
that. So the quickest and easiest way to support us is to become a member. It's a very nominal fee. I think it's 490 Rand a year, and that gets you discounted rates to all our tours and advance notice of events and mailing lists and things like that. So that's a quick, easy way. Become a member.
Right.
We do a lot of really, really good work, and we need the money. We are totally self-funded. We don't get any support from the government or anything like that. The second thing is go to our website, joburgheritage.org.za, go to our Facebook page, go to our Instagram page, follow us, get involved. If you want to get involved as a volunteer, please email us, get in touch. We'd love to hear from you.
I think it's great, and we'll put all the details in the description of the episode today, so you can get involved if you want to. I think it's a terrific initiative, and I think it's so good that you're in charge there, because you're clearly passionate about it, which I love. There are things about Joburg, though, that people also, unless someone tells them about it, they'll never know. El, you often go to what used to be Madiba's house, which has now been turned into a boutique hotel.
Yeah, boutique hotel, stunning in Houghton. Yeah.
My favorite place in the CBD is a place called Collector's Treasury.
Sure.
I mean, this is a building. It's got like 5 floors. It's packed to the rafters. You have to walk through there with gloves and a dust mask, and you find amazing stuff, old records, books, incredible stuff. There's really the most insane stuff there, and it's been run by these 2 brothers for the last 80 years.
Yeah. The Class Brothers.
And they find out when some old ladies died. They go to the estate auction usually,
Brilliant.
buy the stuff, and then they say, well, who wants to buy this?
What I love about Collectors Treasury is they don't seem too concerned whether they sell anything or not.
No.
they
And if you didn't know it was there, you'd drive right past
it. Absolutely. And you know that there are 70 bookshops in the inner city.
That's incredible.
There are 70 bookshops. A guy called Griffin Shea is trying to organize a literary district to build awareness around that. He runs a couple of them, and there's actually quite an active literary scene in and around Joburg. But you got to know, and you got to go and find these things. They're not open to you.
And I want to give it a punt from a fashion point of view. The plaza is still phenomenal.
Best samosas in Joburg,
and the plaza is great. And I know I was born in Mayfair, and I can tell you now, the plaza is where I was shopping as a little kid to get some outfits.
I remember.
And I still go shopping. Khalees is in the plaza now.
Did you get this at the plaza?
No, this I got from Ralph Lauren in America. But speak to someone at the plaza. I know a lot of people, and you go to Kasim's or you go to one of those stores, and they'll import it for you from America.
So you know that samosa shop in the corner of the famous one, the Thousand World of Samosas. Okay, best samosas in Joburg. Do you know how many samosas they make a day? I asked them.
How many?
9,000 samosas a day.
And do you know that?
At least.
Because people come and get the frozen, the boxes.
Wow. The boxes,
the boxes from them. Do you know that? Most of the samosas that you're getting around Joburg are from, I mean, the magnificent Indian flavors and cultures that come from that part of just this. I'm giving it a punt because it's stunning.
And there's a whole history about that as well. Fordsburg has a difficult history. At the site of forced removals of Pageview and the Oriental Plaza was the result of forced removals. They removed them from their homes in Fitas and Pageview, and they built the Oriental Plaza as a kind of consolation.
Now, and Fitas, isn't that like a really, really hilarious place as well? If you want to go people viewing.
Yes.
This is not very politically correct.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you get a game drive vehicle and you drive through, and you can see like these terrible inbred down and outs.
Listen, I can tell you that you could do a game drive through Parkhurst as well and get just as good a people watching experience, just on the other side of the spectrum.
Yeah, you're right.
And Parkhurst itself is beautiful. The parks are stunning. I mean, people are the people. And I want to tell you, because we did it for Rian's birthday, we went down to Delta Park.
Yeah.
And we had a party, picnic in the park. And again, such a beautiful place to, we've got lovely parks.
So if you ask me my favorite place in Johannesburg, like on a day-to-day basis, it's actually the park where I walk my dogs, James and Ethel Gray in Melrose.
That's beautiful.
It's an amazing park. It's a phenomenal park, amazing views over the ridge with the Joburg General Hospital and all of that kind of stuff. It's a great community. It's wonderful. I go daily, and that's my my sanity space. And our parks are remarkable.
They really are.
And I wish we had more of them. Especially in the poorer and less advantaged areas. Parks for me are a heartbeat of the community.
Yeah,
and green spaces. I'm a big proponent of parks.
I love this. So Carl says, "Fuck you guys! You've got me so excited about our city. Lovely stuff, man." So this is the stuff we want.
And I want to add one other thing, that there's a lady that cleaned up Pompeii, and if you manage to get in there, there's a games room area and a little restaurant there. And Pontie's Pontie's a bit of a joy.
So now I got to tell you about Pompeii. So
her name was Tina. She was a cuckoo.
So Pompeii has completely reinvented itself.
Yeah.
It's fully lit. It's clean. It's well run.
No way.
And there's an organization called Tlalanye who run tours of Pompeii. And if you haven't, it's absolutely essential that you do a Pompeii tour.
And you go to the bottom to this rock, and you can take the best shot,
the best selfie in Joburg,
the best selfie through the whole of Pompeii.
Yeah,
it is really great.
It's a brilliant.
But wasn't it? At a point, it was like the worst rubbish dump.
Did you know that it was? And not only that, they found dead bodies there. And they were
Joburg.
It was.
You gotta love Joburg.
That was in the 2000s. I mean, that was in the 2000s. But that it's
they
come
literally.
Back.
So you know the inner core of Ponty's Hollow, obviously famously so. and people were dumping their trash out the windows into the inner core. It got up, the estimates vary, about 12 floors.
No,
about 12 floors of
That's
solid
it,
garbage
17,
that all had to be cleaned out. That all had to be cleaned out. And you know what they've done now? Because, Joburgers make a plan to stop this. They've welded all the interior windows shut. So now you literally cannot throw anything out into the center core.
And I did a huge story on it, so it was really what a great place.
It's a great tour. It's a brilliant tour.
It's a
12
tour.
floors of rubbish.
12 floors of rubbish.
Joburg is definitely not like anywhere else.
No, it's not. It's not. But the friendliest people come from Joburg. And I mean, this is common knowledge.
True.
We are open, we're friendly, generally speaking. We meet people, we immediately bring them in, we warm.
And that's what the difference between Joburg, Durban, and Cape Town is, because actually we should be called the friendly city.
I
and
agree.
then if you get on the wrong side, we'll smash you up. So that's
exactly. We'll give you a
we're
clap.
also the club city. So we're the bipolar
If you
city.
get on the wrong side of us, we'll smash you up.
We're
the no bullshit city, Gareth.
Okay,
so we
That's
love
what
you.
I'm saying.
We'll take you in, and then if you really mess with us, we'll just buff you. But that's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So
I
just
always
know
say
that.
Joburg is not a pretty city, but it's got the friendliest people.
It's got incredible.
Cape Town is a pretty city.
And we leave it at that.
That's very true. All right. Listen, this has been lots
I'll
of
be
fun.
back to Joburg because I love the city so much.
Guys, thank you. This is terrific. I can only wish the Joburg Heritage Foundation luck and all the good things, and we'll continue, I hope, to support you in numbers. Al, enjoyed Greece?
I want to tell you one other thing quickly. Coming up this month, they're doing at the zoo, artists at the zoo with the Joburg Theatre.
Yes.
So also at night, lots of things happen in the zoo.
Okay. Lots of
And-
things happen in the zoo at night.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lots of music festivals, the zoo at night, lights for your kids. Just giving you that a punt.
And can I give a very last punt before we go?
Go.
14th and 15th of September is our Heritage Weekend.
Yes.
That is our annual Heritage
Because it is
Weekend.
Heritage Month.
It's Heritage Month in
yeah.
September. So we have our Heritage Weekend. We're running a total of 12 tours over Saturday and Sunday. 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, Saturday and Sunday. All at discounted rates. We consider everybody a member. We give them all a discounted rate.
Oh, wow.
Please go online, find out more about it. We have some amazing tours run by our volunteer guides, all starting at Holy Family College in Parktown, which is itself a wonderful heritage site.
Fantastic.
So, please find out more about it, get involved, come and talk to us. We'd love to have you on board. And let's work to try and fix the city together because it's up to us.
It's not up. We don't know who the mayor is. So.
No, frankly, no.
Okay. No, it's
rubbish.
it's,
Rubbish.
What's his name now? Dada Morero.
Morero.
He's the new one.
Who cares?
Correct.
No, El,
It'll change next week.
he's-
Why remember
All
the
right,
name?
El, you're going to Greece. You've got to get your blood pressure down.
I know.
You're going to have a thrombosis in your leg on the plane on the way there. We don't want this. We
No,
want to be
no,
calm,
no.
nice holiday,
I'll tell
happy
you all
thought,
about
breathe.
Greece.
Don't think
Venice.
about Mama Joy. Don't think about Dada Morero and the city of Joburg.
So far I was grumpy this morning.
And
I
don't
know
think
why.
about people who post videos of snow on Table Mountain. Just happy thoughts.
Happy thoughts.
Okay. I'm going to get you nice and ready for your holiday now. Alan Ford, David Fleminger, both of you, thank you very, very much. And most especially, thank you to you. We will see you on Friday right here for more.